Welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
Let's try this again. Welcome to the EST Hangout on this Tuesday live on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports, edmontonsportstalk.com, tune in, iHeartRadio, as well as on YouTube. And thanks to everyone for listening to the podcast. We had that little breaker go on us, and I forgot that it shut off our board, so I had to replace that and put that back on. But Tommy, you did that for us, so thank you very much. Tom Gazzola, Matt Iwanek, Derek Van Diest from NHL.com, and Jasmine Sidhu with us here on the Hangout. What were you going to say?
what did I do?
You turn on the board.
Oh, yeah. Well, I looked and I'm like, there's no lights on the board.
Yeah.
That I was saying to you, and listen, I'm not a conspiracy theorist by any means, but that's 2 days in a row the breaker went, and I said to Matthew, was that at the exact same time?
Close.
Something nefarious is afoot.
It was
Spooky season.
well, it's why we had Rashog on yesterday during the morning show. It went down, and then today was about 50-ish or so.
We are in a 50-year-old industrial office building.
It was
I
the
just want to
breaker.
remind everybody of that. It has not been reliable, as one knows.
Why? We have a lot of things plugged
Pretty
in.
bright lights here.
It's still nice.
Yeah, but like,
Lot of,
never
every
had
light,
that
every light in
happen
that
2
building
days.
is on, and that happens, you know.
Well, we
There's a
also
ghost
like
in the building.
the way this building is done. Like most rooms have like one power outlet per room
Yeah. And you guys got 25
so-
things plugged into it.
into an extension or a
Yeah.
power bar that goes into that. Yeah, so I'm actually surprised this hasn't happened more.
Including
Like-
Tommy Straightner.
Oh,
Straightener.
don't tell them my secret. You
She's
and
just starting there
Will
today.
dumping on me, Rick with the side swipe, like
What did Rick say?
nothing. I'm just making shit.
It's like, who's
Okay.
making
Yeah.
fun of you today?
Yeah. It's all good. I'm having fun.
And then Jasmine brought us some little.
Oh, the room
This is
looks
for you
good.
too. We've
Yeah, it
got
looks very
pumpkin
nice.
now that I don't know if
Yeah.
anyone could see the light in it.
There's a light in there.
And we got a lot more.
Yeah,
It's very festive in here.
I carved that pumpkin thinking I was going to do the whole Edmonton sports talk, and then McDavid gets injured, and I'm like, F this, and I literally ripped the stencil and
Wow.
said, EST it is. So I hope you still like it.
But it works well with our new alternate logo with the merch, which the pop-up shop is live.
That's exactly
Thank
where
you.
my mind came
Good
from.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as someone cut a pumpkin. I don't know the last time I cut a pumpkin.
It sucks.
Like or carved a pumpkin.
Who likes cutting pumpkins?
I don't know. Where did that tradition begin? How would that?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Who would
Ireland.
have stuck their hand in a pumpkin and went, oh, we can make face out of this pumpkin.
Yeah, let's do a Halloween.
Yeah, but pumpkin seeds are delicious.
They're pretty good.
You
Pumpkin
roast the
pie is
heck out of
great.
those.
Yeah.
Pumpkin pie, yes, yeah. So I don't know. So it's an interesting tradition. Halloween.
It is a thing.
I'm not a big
Smashing
Halloween
Pumpkins,
guy.
good band.
So,
Nefarious activity.
first.
Pumpkin.
How's everyone doing today?
I don't know anything happened in the game last night.
No.
It was just a normal game.
Nothing happened in the game yesterday.
Hard
actually.
fought both sides. Nothing to talk about.
So dumb.
Let's move on to the Canadian Football League in the house. No,
Or the Lakers Suns.
well, I'll say that Lakers. That was their first loss of the season.
Yeah, it was I can't believe you didn't catch the ending. At least it was right to the
It
wire.
was because they already beat the Suns. I think on Saturday, they had a little bit of a comeback. I think it was against the Suns. The Lakers are actually off to a pretty decent start.
They are.
JJ Redick is looking early returns.
Yeah.
Like maybe an NBA coach.
Yeah.
I will say that. So we will see how that fully plays out. And they're not forcing it all through LeBron. They're giving it to AD.
That's it. But LeBron's the coach of that team.
Yeah, you should. Did you,
JJ Redick told him
just
to
stand there
shoot the
looking at the
bleeping.
see, they were standing
JJ told him
together.
to shoot the bleeping ball yesterday because they had a time count and he outed, and JJ's like in his face.
I guess, but
So
LeBron's the coach of that team.
Definitely. The way they were just standing together, like they were both like coaching, you know.
well, it's working. It's better than Darvin Ham. Darvin Ham was
Yeah.
trash.
Yeah, he was.
And so they had to make that move. But talk Oilers. How big of a concern is it for the Edmonton Oilers right now? If they let's just go with if they don't have McDavid for a little bit of time.
Well, first off, it's a concern, but it's something that eventually was going to happen, right? Like eventually you knew that your star player was going to sustain some sort of injury. It happens to every star player where they have to leave. You know, it happens to Sid. It happened to everybody. So I think this is a situation where now, okay, talk about pulling up your bootstraps. This is where the Oilers have to pull up their bootstraps and see, okay, can we get things done? Maybe this lights a fire under Draisaitl a little bit, lights a fire under some of the other guys. Because you'd rather have this situation in October than in April. So I think right now it's going to be a situation where who knows how long Connor McDavid's out. I think if they sent him home, it's pretty serious. Like if they had been a sprained ankle or something they could handle, they would have kept him with the team. But they sent him home, probably get x-rays and double check, and their doctors are here and all that stuff. So if he's out for a significant amount of time, and from a guy who sprained multiple ankles multiple times, they never get better. Like it's the high ankle sprain, if that's what it is. It's a terrible injury because you're always kind of dealing with it. If it's a break or a bruise, who knows? But I think the Oilers are going to have to really go through these tough times in this adversity without their best player.
The worst part about that happening now is, like last year's, they're going to be the risk or the want to rush him back because of where the Oilers are in the standings a little bit.
Well, it's
Whereas if you're sitting a little higher up in the standings, if they had a little bit better start to the season, you'd be like, whatever. Take an extra week, Connor. However long it takes, get back healthy. But is there going to be a little bit of a wanting to rush this?
They keep playing like they did last night, 100%. I mean, they stunk to high heaven. McDavid got hurt early on last year. Remember, he made it back for the Heritage Classic.
Which some might think rushed back.
Correct.
For that game.
There's none of that right now. They're 4-5-1. Much better, unfortunately, and I say this a little bit in jest, than the 2-9-1 start that eventually got Dave Manson and obviously Jay Woodcroft fired. These are silver linings, and they're not great silver linings. I fully recognize that, but I am curious to see if this now motivates Leon Draisaitl to step up, if this now gets Ryan Nugent-Hopkins to shake off the cobwebs off his boots. Because he has not been particularly noticeable in a positive way. Zach Hyman is snake bit. Maybe no more thinking, just go and do, right? Like, it sounds simple, but hockey players kind of know this stuff. And if it does motivate them to rise to the occasion and give their captain and best player in the world some time to get better and then he can boost them and hopefully catch up with them as they're on the upswing, then okay. But I know there's a lot of doubt and uncertainty when it comes to anything like this when it happens to the Oilers, and I think that's completely valid because they'll let you down like they did last night. Jasmine.
My cousin, Dr. Harjus Graywell, I'll just read you his tweet.
MD.
MD, actual doctor, not an engineer doctor.
Doesn't play one on TV like Jason Strudwick, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. He wrote, probably a mild left ankle sprain if you made me bet on it. But that's just a pattern of prior slides. No video evidence here. Definitely, because there's that video that everybody's seeing on Twitter, right?
Right.
He's like, definitely doesn't look like a broken bone just based on the amount of force and him skating after. So that's a positive. He's saying week to week.
2 to 4.
Yeah.
We'll play. See, like
That's still a long
That's an
time,
expert
though.
opinion right there.
Yeah.
We're not experts.
No.
We're not doctors. We play on
Just
TV.
thank you.
Right? It's like I'm not a parent, but I just tell everyone else how to parent their kids, right? It's
of course.
that's what you do.
What do you mean parenting's hard? It seems so
well,
easy.
It's easy.
Yeah.
So 2 to 4. If that's what we're saying, you got Nashville. Calgary, Devils, Vegas, Vancouver, Islanders, Nashville, Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa, Minnesota, Rangers. That's the next 4 weeks.
Damn it.
That's not a murderer's row by any means. It really
And then
isn't.
they have 5 days off for whatever reason. From a Saturday against the Rangers to the 29th against Utah. So if I would say this, if it is going to take about 4 weeks, make it 5. Give them that. Don't rush them for that Minnesota Rangers. Take that extra 5 days that are coming up and get them ready to go for the end of November.
That's good. No, but it's gonna be up to McDavid. McDavid played 5 exhibition games. You think the coach wanted him to play 5 exhibition games? No. Right? It's all up to him. And I think last year, I think he wanted to play in that Heritage Classic. The league wanted him to play in that Heritage Classic. Everyone wanted him to play. So yeah, did he rush back? Who knows? Like, was he fully healed last year? I think that was the one thing that we were discussing. Is he couldn't shoot the puck, and that's why he was passing it off so much. Like he couldn't shoot the puck, or didn't have the same zip on his shot that he had the previous year. So is that an issue? Did that fully? Like, there's always issues, but I think it's gonna be. When you're a star player like that, you dictate, you call the shots. You get advice from the coach and the medical staff, but eventually you decide when you're coming back.
But if you're the Oilers, though, you have to try to drill it in his head that it's not important fully of being back that extra game or two in November if it means you're a little bit healthier April, May, June.
No, for sure.
And you've got to drill that in his head as much as you can. And whether that's, and maybe you have to go around him and get to his agent and talk to his agent or somebody around him to try to get that to him. But it's, if he's going like, hey, maybe take that extra day, dude, like that's okay. We want you there as long as everything is going okay for the Oilers.
Well, that's the thing. It's up to the team, right?
Yeah.
If they want him to take some time off, then if the team's playing well, it's easier to say, okay, I won't rush back. But if they're in the tank, they got to get back, right? Like
maybe this is that spark this team needs to really just get going.
Yeah, to step it up, play that role.
I hope so. But again, going back on this team and franchise's history, generally that doesn't happen. Maybe I'm not trying to be gloom and doom, but it's just like you look at them, okay, come on, you guys. And then you're like, oh, you didn't do it. You didn't do it. But maybe this is the time they switch it up and they surprise everyone in a pleasant way.
Yeah, their back's not fully against the wall yet.
Right.
So they're not going to turn it around fully yet.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing about this team. We've talked about the sport. Why do their backs always have to be against the wall before they get going? Why does it have to be adversity? Why did it have
Some
to be
people
like,
just thrive under that pressure.
just-
They just thrive under those deadline type things for schooling or
Well, I
whatever.
guess, that
and
makes
this is that team that they need to be down 3-0 in the Stanley Cup final to try to have a chance at winning it all.
Yeah, I guess maybe that's the thing. I don't know.
Wild.
So
And they also just like Columbus. That's not a place for the Oilers.
No, they dropped, 3 in a row there. Haven't won since 2019. 1 win in their last 5 total against the Blue Jackets. For whatever reason, a substandard, subpar franchise team with a modest lineup
it's that
gets the better
stupid
of them.
cannon.
That cannon sucks.
You ever been there?
No, the cannon is cool.
Well, not if you're there because it's stupid.
It's so
and
loud.
And you're in the
Like
press
echoes.
box.
Yeah.
Well, no, the way the cannon works, and it's been explained to me multiple times. So there's the cannon doesn't fire, just a little smoke comes out of the cannon. And the noise comes from the speakers.
Yeah.
And the speakers are right in front of the press box. And so it goes boom. And then they actually have fun. The home media has fun with the visiting media because we're always sitting there. And someone will actually record as the cannon goes off. And we're all like, oh, Jesus. Because at the beginning of the game, it goes off just indiscriminately. Like just.
I think when the team comes out or something like that.
We're all prepared. We're all getting ready. And then boom, right in your face. And we're all jumping up in the air. I'm like, that's stupid.
Yeah, it is stupid.
It is stupid.
At the All-Star game, went off 15 times for the game. We're like,
I can't.
Oh, they
And
did
it's-
it for all. Did they do both
every
teams?
Every goal.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And then the story of that cannon is interesting, right? Because when Ken Hitchcock was there, he's a big Civil War buff. So he loves
As any Edmontonian would be.
well,
obviously.
he's just a historian. He likes the Civil War. So the Columbus Blue Jackets, obviously, they go in there, and then someone said, "Hey, there's this old Civil War type cannon that we have," and so I guess somehow the Blue Jackets went and they found this cannon and like, "Hey, we can refurbish this and use it as part of our thing," and it became a gimmick, and it's so loud.
It is.
It's like deafening.
And then they have the guy in the Civil War gear,
Yeah,
and he'll do
Civil War gear.
Fortnite dances. Like yesterday when they scored the 5th goal, he was just like this.
Yeah.
You're like,
So that's their thing. It's their gimmick.
I like it. from an outside perspective, you know,
perspective,
that again,
like,
never been
blow it
there.
in
Never
your
been.
face. Like if you go there and it's like bang, 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 you're like, oh my god.
Last night would have been tough.
Traumatized
Oh
a
my
little
god.
bit.
yeah.
One thing that reminds me to inside they have this huge wall. It's a beautiful arena. It's 24 years old now, but they've kept it in such good shape. One cool
No,
thing.
no playoff hockey there.
No, that's true. They have this huge wall, and for every goal scored in a season or at home, one or the other, they put. Do you remember that DVD? They put a cannon embedded in the wall, and like they obviously just tape it on, but it looks like it was shot from that cannon.
Oh, they have the holes of the
hole.
Oh, for the season.
the musket.
Yeah,
holes.
And then so at the start of this year, there's
The
nothing.
musket
Yeah,
holes
and
and
then-
then-
okay.
Yes, yes.
It's very
yeah,
cool.
they have the musket holes.
Oh, that's
that
neat.
arena. This is interesting, and that I used to go to Columbus 4 times a year, so I knew everything. So that arena is a bit cursed. Okay, like
Hang on.
You're
Okay,
thinking
go ahead, but
That's why they're
Okay,
not making the
'cause
playoffs.
This is-
I looked this up.
Spooky.
No, this is the story. This is good.
Curse.
So that
That's
arena,
okay.
you think about the stuff that's happened with that franchise, right? That arena, that girl died when the puck went
Yes.
into the
Oh,
stands,
which
right?
is why we have netting.
Right? This is why
Espen
we have
Knudsen.
netting, right? We have
Yeah,
netting.
yeah.
They had a player die in a hot tub. Remember a couple years ago, their goalie was in
Yeah,
the 4th
the
of
fire
July.
works.
Manny
hot tub.
Legacy's place.
Yes, right.
In
Obviously, the
Columbus,
thing
yeah.
with the tragic thing with the Goudreau brothers.
Yeah.
That arena is built on the site of the old Ohio State Penitentiary, where they used to have the electric chair there, and they used to execute prisoners there. So that old site, they say that arena is haunted. They say at night, the security guards, there's some weird stuff going on in that rink at night, and you can almost sense it. To be honest, you walk around that.
No.
If you knew it, if you knew
Wow.
about the history of it, you could sense it. There's some
Okay.
weird stuff
like
going
some
on. in this thing.
eeriness
Yeah, there's an
there?
eeriness
Yeah.
there. It was built on the old Ohio State Penitentiary, which was considered one of the worst maximum security prisons in the United States, because they had a massive riot there once. There was all these inmates died.
Yeah.
It was
True.
it's just if you go back and look at the history of the Ohio State Penitentiary,
I
you're
did.
Like, oh my god! And they decided to build an arena. Now, in defense, someone said to me, in defense, the arena is actually in the parking lot,
Yes.
not where the penitentiary was.
And the parking garage is where the penitentiary
Yeah,
was, because
exactly.
there was this thing that they're like center ice or somewhere around center ice is where the electric chair was. That's not true.
That's not true,
It's
yeah.
actually where the parking garage
Yeah,
is. And
so-
then, like you said, it was the lot, the play, not the playground, but the area where they can go and do their outdoor
yard.
activity.
The yard, yeah.
Part-
The
Thank
yard.
you.
The
The yard
volleyball,
and the
yeah.
parking lot
Yeah.
is where the arena
That's where the
is.
arena
Still,
is
that's
now.
that's bad juju.
Yeah. So, but
it's a
if-
beautiful area.
yeah,
though.
it is, but it's right down smack in the middle of town. Like
Yes.
they used to have a big state penitentiary right smack in the middle of your city.
Yeah.
But if you ever want some good reading, read up on the Ohio
going to.
State
Yeah,
Penitentiary.
there was a
Wikipediaing this after,
1930
yeah.
prison fire that roasted more than, I'm just reading something, roasted more than 300 inmates alive in their cells.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
So that's one of the things that happened there.
It's just, and there was a riot, and like I said, they used to execute prisoners there. So it's so fascinating to read about this, and you're like, this building is cursed for a
As you
reason.
eat a hot dog in the press
Yeah,
box.
exactly. Choke on a hot dog.
Yeah, so they're waking the ghosts with all those cannons. They need to get rid of the cannon because the ghosts keep getting awake and they're just trying to slumber.
I'd
And
be
Hey,
okay
good
with the
point. Oh, that's
I'd be
a good
okay
point.
with the cannon going. To be honest.
It is a really neat
It's a good
history.
story. Yeah.
that's fascinating.
Yeah, very perfect for the season, I
Right?
would say.
Well,
Right.
that's the thing. We
Yeah.
were talking about that the other day at the Oilers game because we're saying now that franchise because someone else got hurt last week for the year. Was
In
it-
Columbus?
In Columbus.
Oh, man.
Who they lose for the year? They lost someone for the year.
I don't follow Columbus that
Blue
close.
Center's out. They've got a bunch of injuries.
All these injuries are out. So
I love that. I think that arena, though, like it is beautiful. They've done a great job with it. It's just too bad the team, over the 24 years that it's been in the NHL, has had so many struggles.
Like 2 playoff series wins?
yeah. They got the one
think
against
that's it.
Tampa. And then who else did they beat?
Or is that
They
the only
beat
one?
Toronto, I think, didn't they? With
Did they beat
Tortorella?
Toronto? Yeah, that's right.
That was Tortorella's claim to fame.
Yeah.
It's just
Outside
so
of winning
little.
the
Like I
Stanley
really
Cup.
want to see. Like honestly, the Blue Jackets shouldn't have the fans that they do have.
They have great fans. It's a hockey city. They know the game.
Well, that's the thing. Like they have had such little success in 24 years
Yeah.
that they don't deserve having
But
any
Columbus
fans really
is a
right now.
college town. So
Yeah.
if you go to Columbus, the differences between American hockey fans and Canadian hockey fans is that American hockey fans just go there and have a good time.
Yeah.
And it's a bunch of college kids. They go down there. They're all going to Ohio State University, which we and Tom, we got to hang out there watching basketball there.
Of course you did.
Yeah, because it was awesome.
That was fun.
It was an awesome experience.
Yeah.
We were there one year. It was a Sweet 16.
Eddie George's.
Wow.
Yeah, and Ohio State was playing, and then Mark Spector suggested, "Hey, why don't we go to Ohio State, the university, and watch a game at the bar at the university?" So like, okay, so we went to Eddie George's. Here we are, these older guys, a bunch of 22, 23, 24-year-old kids. Bar was packed, and then we
$6 buckets.
we
of
got
Bud
in
Bud
trouble
Light.
with the $6 buckets of Bud Light.
Yeah, I didn't. I had a great night. You
What,
were
$6?
What happened?
Bud Lights for a bucket of
Only one of your eyes
$6
were
for-
open by the end of the night.
$6 for 8 Bud Lights, a bucket of Bud Lights.
$6. So like, if you convert that, even that's nothing.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. And there was 4 of us.
And you
so
guys get
each of us-
expense that
There
usually.
was 4.
Yeah,
but no, we couldn't. Well,
yeah,
$6
we did because we got food with
There's
it.
4 of us, and we each bought a bucket. So I'm just,
good.
you do the math.
That's what
DVD might have bought.
You
too.
can't say no.
Well, it's,
That's too much.
have
That's a
to.
great.
it's less than $1 a beer. For
Yeah.
It's the principle.
right.
Gotta
was
keep
such a-
going.
And that's
Such a good
perfect, 'cause
vibe.
You only have to
Yeah.
drink like because you don't want to drink the warm one when you're like almost done. You drink.
It's a buck. The ice.
Yeah, but for the one you're drinking, you drink 4/5 of it, whatever's
Well,
little. Like you just
whatever,
put it
yeah.
away and grab the next one because who
You
cares?
did.
Yeah,
But
because you
it's
can
like-
order more.
Yeah,
It's
just-
not a big deal.
It's basically you guys were at a toonie bar, but at a, like for a wedding, but you had it at an actual bar.
Pretty much. Well, it's at college bar.
It was awesome. It was so much fun. And then the game was like an afternoon game. We had the day off, and this guy's like, "Well, let's go out." I'm like, "Yeah, let's go out."
Yeah, it was
And we did.
It was a
Did
a
we ever?
fun
And
night
you
in
sent
Columbus.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a fun night in
6
Columbus.
playoff appearances for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Only 2
Yeah, it's been
series
a
wins.
badly run off.
One of them being when you pointed to the Leafs.
Yeah.
That was the bubble.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even like their home fans could go watch it and something, right? Like so it's
It's a poorly run organization. Maybe they should have hired someone as assistant GM when Scott Housen was there.
Oh boy.
I'm just saying.
it's
Bob Stoff.
Stoff should have been hired there.
He
Yeah.
was telling us he was going to be the assistant GM of the
Scott
Columbus
Housen was
Blue
going to hire
Jackets.
him.
Is this for real?
For real.
That's wild.
And Scott
Yeah,
Housen was hired.
okay.
Because him and Scott were friends.
And then for some reason Scott didn't do it.
Scott didn't hire him.
And he didn't have success.
No.
Coincidence?
He didn't.
I think not.
No, I just.
He
yeah,
should have hired
he
Bob.
shoulda hired
Should have hired Bob as he
I don't know.
pointed
That
out.
team was just for whatever reason. It
Yeah.
just. But hey, they always seem to be
listen.
turning the corner. They had Rick Nash there for like how many years? And they
Yeah, it
couldn't
was
get
one
him.
that when he finally wanted to be traded away, like everyone, all Blue Jackets fans, were like, please trade him. Like this guy doesn't deserve this.
Let him win.
Yeah.
Let him go somewhere.
Let him experience joy.
Yeah.
Doug McLean. I know you said he was a great guest for all those years.
Doug.
But
Oh, that Doug.
yeah,
I loved
not
Doug
Doug
McLean.
McLean.
No,
that
yeah.
does,
I
Hangout.
loved Doug McLean. I'll finish and then
Both great like guests and broadcasters, but Doug McLean, GM of Columbus for so long, did not work. And then the ownership there, apparently they're great. Lots of patience, clearly, because it was Doug McLean, then it was Scott Housen, then it was Jarmo Kekalainen. They've had 3 in 24 years until they went and who did they bring in this year?
well, Don Waddell did he hire a GM? Is he just president?
I think he is the GM.
Is he president and GM?
Yeah, so Don Waddell's there now.
But if you ever go, Columbus is a great place though. Like
It
Ohio,
would be fun.
I
Columbus is
just
fun.
Googled it from how far it is from Cleveland. It's like
Yeah.
good 2 hours. So I'd assume there's not much to do in Columbus other than hockey.
There's
They got the Ohio State University.
Yeah,
sorry,
the
Ohio
Ohio
State.
Buckeyes.
It's
Yeah.
the state capital.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's some.
It's nice. It's very clean, like well maintained. I think it's roughly the same population as us here in Edmonton, about 1.5 million.
Okay.
It's kind of caught in the Midwest,
but,
and there's
yeah.
other cities that
Unfortunately, we've
get
never
more
been
love.
there when Ohio State was playing because I'd love to go to a football game.
It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Football game.
And the
Even though I'm
horseshoe.
not a huge college football fan, I would still go.
You still gotta
You could
go.
just
You have
walk
to
away.
devote 5 hours.
It's
yeah,
not.
yeah.
Your life
Tailgate to the.
No, he's talking about just the football.
So just
Oh,
the
yeah,
game
yeah, yeah,
itself,
that's
You're all 4.5 hours.
Doug
away.
McLean, I would love having Doug because we had him on like twice a week. I would call him. We'd have a nice little 4-minute chat on air. He would rip the Oilers or he'd rip somebody, and then he'd come on air, and he'd either say a little bit of the opposite, or he would just be very soft in what he'd say. But like to me privately, like he hates Pierre Maguire. I'll just tell you that one.
Well, he joined the line, right?
Oh, I know, but like with what he would say off the air to me, but then I think with that I had him on still in the Dallas Aiken years of the Oilers or something, and he would rip Dallas's teams, and then come on air, and he wouldn't be as harsh. because obviously he's on the broadcast. But
That's a
that's
pro.
what made me just was the best because I would just give him a call and he'd just tee off on something, and then it was never the same on the air. And I got like my own private little interaction
session.
with Doug McLean.
Yeah,
I miss that man.
I don't know him that well. I've had a couple of interactions with Doug, but but going back to Columbus, like that's a team in trouble.
Yeah, it is. We got a text from Munchmaster Flex. Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999. What say you? Munchmaster Flex says the excuse that the team didn't score, so it's okay Stu got lit up for 6 is a cop-out. The first 3 goals were bad. Not that I'm saying he should have had all 3 because of the defensive lapses, but that's your job to stop pucks. And he was off, win or lose, and no matter how many goals your teammates score, you still need to be consistent, not let in weaker ones. I'm not beating on him. His last 2 games were excellent, but he's got to dig in and provide more consistent play. It's naturally an unfair position, and maybe if he keeps 2 of the first 3 out, could have been a different game. Munchmaster Flex. I will say this. I agree with Munchmaster Flex. Like, you need a couple saves, especially last night. You didn't get them from Stu. But he, outside of the Winnipeg game, has actually been very good until last night. I thought that the criticism of him on the LRT, if that did truly happen, is ridiculous. And yesterday,
And the LRT.
there people are booing or saying sucks or something like that.
Yeah, which game was that?
Carolina,
Hurricanes.
when he was the best player.
When
the Oilers.
somebody messaged into our post-game show that, on the LRT after the game, people are chanting Skinner sucks.
Skinner sucks, yeah. He did. He was him and Freddie Anderson were the best players that night. He has been good outside of last night and that game against Winnipeg, honestly. The other thing, too, with Stu Skinner, I was asking Joaquin about one of the goals. I think it was the third one, and I'm like, Gager, was that, like, I know there's defensive lapses there, but, like, why'd that go in? He goes, well, Stu looked surprised that the puck had gotten to him, and that's a bad indicator. And then sure enough, like, things just went south from there. But Belsey brought it up yesterday on the pregame show with myself and Hernan at BP Westgate. Shout out to Tony and the crew over there. Fantastic time. The Oilers ranked 30th in, like, goals for. The goals against was 17th. Power play and penalty kill 30th, 32nd. You know what I mean? And so I go, well, what's the anomaly here? And it's goals against because it was 17th. And it wasn't because of the team playing good defense as a 5-man unit or the Blue Liners playing good. It was because the goalies were giving them a chance to stay in those games. Pickard and Skinner. And I think he deserves credit for that. But last night, like Munchmaster Flex said, no bueno.
I was going to say it's funny how nobody's talking about Columbus playing well because it was actually the Oilers just playing atrocious.
They were awful.
Yeah, they were so bad. It was a very frustrating game to watch. And I'm so over this Columbus narrative. Can we please move on to Nashville?
Well, I'll go something. Reed Wilkins is in the nasty chat. Host of the Reed Wilkins Show with JML 3 to 6 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Going to be interesting to see how the Oilers gain the ozone without McDavid's speed. Their passing has been poor, and they've been unwilling to dump it in and grind to get it back. Well, they might be forced to dump it in and grind
throw
to
the
get
puck.
it back.
The old throw a puck around the board so one guy makes sure the
They
other
rim it.
they rim it, and that was the old back in the day. They'd rim the puck. One guy would go in, make sure the defenseman didn't get the puck, and then the second guy would pick up the puck. So you got to do that on the power play now. Now it became, I don't know how long ago it became where you dropped the puck back and some guy took it in with speed. Like it's
That was 7-8 years ago, the slingshot.
Someone
Yeah.
came in.
McDavid?
Well, no,
Yeah.
no, it was done. It was done in other places. I thought that's weird.
Now
That's
everybody
weird.
does it.
Well, if
Now
you've got
everyone
that
does it.
speed, like it's hard to defend that.
Yeah. No, it is. And to
Right.
me, Patrick Kane was one of the best ever of gaining the zone. If you can get a guy that can gain the zone, and he was one of the best doing that. McDavid's obviously the best now, but yeah.
You
if
can
don't
gain the
have
zone
that
without
weapon-
losing the puck or having to give up the puck.
So here's my
Might as
question.
well go for
So
it.
who plays the power play now? McDavid's spot.
They had Arvidsson on there yesterday.
Wait, are you going to recall, like, who are going to
You gotta bring
They
up
have to call somebody up.
Yeah.
They only have
Noah
11
Philp.
forwards now. Maybe Philp.
I think Phillips, that's who was floated by Stoff yesterday. I'll just
Well,
throw it
I
out
mean,
there,
U of A Golden Bear connection.
but there's a lot of people that didn't think he should have been sent down.
Fair. I think.
So
I think
I
we're going
think
to
he
see
might
Philp.
have- yeah.
They need a centerman too.
I think he maybe earned the right of first call
Yeah.
up type thing here. So maybe it's Noah Philp, but he's not going to the power play.
Yeah.
It's a good question.
Such a good question.
Is this a chance
Good
to change? Do you change a lot more than just and try to do 2 power plays now?
Well, that's the thing. Now do you have power play 1, power play 2? Like,
Sure.
Because you don't have McDavid, you got to spread some things around a little bit more.
so yeah.
Forces
Maybe the
them to
second
actually-
power play gets more than 15 seconds. That might help.
Maybe it forces them to simplify. Shoot, crush the net, bang home garbage. I don't know. Try it.
What do you think?
I think I agree with Tommy on that one.
Thank
Keep
you,
it simple.
Jasmine. Love it.
Get it in. It's like Hyman.
Love it.
He's getting chances. He's just not getting it, in the net. But he's getting chances.
Oh, he's just snake bitten right now.
Yeah.
It's in that
simple
situation
theory.
right now. He needs to get that one goal.
Yeah.
You got to take the advice he gave to my nephew. So he's talking to Hyman. And I told my nephew, he's playing full ice for the first year, Emerson. He's playing full ice. He's 9 years old. I told him, Zach Hyman told me to tell you to go to the net. That's where the goals are. And sure enough, this weekend, heads to the net, bangs in a rebound, does the old pump celly.
Attaboy.
Attaboy. I told Zach about that. So how's he doing? Doing well. So
So he's got to just keep crashing the net.
just goes to the net. He goes to the net. Like he's got a nose he knows where the little pockets are. And that's that's tough to teach, but go where the pockets of the space are and the puck will find you.
Soft spots.
And he's getting into the soft spot. He doesn't shoot the puck particularly hard, doesn't skate particularly fast, but he is getting to those spaces and he's scored a couple of rebounds. So
You
and
know-
he will jam the puck in.
You know who found the soft spots yesterday? Columbus.
Columbus.
There was a lot of them.
I
And they
said
went
we're
there.
over it. We're over it. Let's
No,
talk about
let's
Nashville.
dwell. Let's
move
Come
on.
on, Dry is the predator killer. Maybe he's gonna wake up. That's his place. As long as they're not partying,
Well,
because they were hungover yesterday. Let's be honest.
No, today's the day.
Today's the day. They're going to the stage. If they're in Nashville, go to the stage.
You want to meet some hockey
There's
players?
Tootsie's. What's the other good bar? The stage is the one I like the best.
The
They're all the same.
Kid Rock's bar.
Kid Rock bar.
There's also what's it? Legends Corner.
Legends Corner. That's the other one.
There's a lot.
The same awesomeness. They're
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah. I love Nashville.
Like
I'm just saying.
Nashville is.
Saint
awesome.
Anejo
What
for
an
your
awesome-
tequila. and
Off day
tacos.
in Nashville. Yeah, tonight's the night.
I think they went after it
Today
last night. To be
is-
honest with you,
Today's Tuesday.
Well, they probably got in right.
they gained an hour.
Oh yeah, last night.
They gained an hour last night.
Last night they would have
Went
been over
back
at the
east
stage.
to Central.
So they could have 2 nights.
Fernando Pisani told me
yeah.
a great story once. I don't know if I ever shared this in Nashville. So he said they were in Nashville. This is back when I was traveling with the team. And Nashville is the only place where they had a curfew, which makes sense, right? There's no Vegas in the league back then.
Not at
So
the time.
Nashville, you got to be back in your room by 11, boys. Do whatever you got to do, but back in your room by 11. And we've been out with a couple players before, and they're like, "Oh, I gotta go. Like, gotta go. The night's still young because Nashville.
Curfew.
2:00 shows up early in Nashville. Like at 2 a.m. Oh my God, it's 2
Well, I
a.m.
think the bars they're open till like 3
They're
or 4
open till
sometimes.
2 or 3. Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. Anyway, so he's at the stage, and the stage, if you've ever been there, it's like it's a big, they're all the bands are awesome everywhere in Nashville.
Yeah,
they're
great
awesome.
music.
Like you walk in, it's great music.
Yeah.
And that's why you get stuck at a bar till 2 a.m. because you're like, this band is awesome. It would be rude to leave.
Yes.
Because they're so awesome. So apparently this band was playing, and Fernando Pisani told me this story. The band was playing, and then the guy stops, like between his 2 of his songs, he goes, "Is that Jewel?" and it was Jewel. And she's like, and everyone's like, "Oh," I said, "Jewel, would you mind?" And she goes, "Nah, no problem." So she goes up. That's 2 or 3 songs. And I guess Fernando and a couple of the Oilers were in and there's like, "Yeah, we got a Jewel set. That was the coolest thing ever."
Yeah.
But apparently someone tells me, "Oh, that happens all the time." Like they'll be singing, and then someone will spot someone in the crowd and ask them to come up, and they'll come up and do a couple of songs. And then if you want them to play Tennessee Whiskey, it'll cost you $100 though. That's
Because it's so basic.
it's just the
yeah.
song of the Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the night, everyone wants to hear Tennessee Whiskey. $100 in the bucket. So you got to put $100 in, and it's a great song.
Of course it is.
oh,
Even I know.
Have you been to Nashville?
Oh yeah.
No.
What are your adventures like? Tell us that.
Oh, I
Bottle
was-
service.
they didn't have it there.
You would know.
Yeah.
You clearly she tried. Clearly she asked for
Well,
it.
when DVD was talking about his like $1.50 whatever beer, I was
Yeah.
thinking in my mind, I was like, well, at bottle service, like, we paid money for that bottle. We're freaking drinking the whatever
Hell
till the
yeah.
end, right? But yeah, Nashville's fun place. It's like I think about it as like almost like an amusement park because you're literally walking into the next bar. You might get in line, go in, check it out, then to the next one, then to the next one, then to the next one. The best nights though are Thursdays because it's not overcrowded, but it's crowded enough. Enough to like make friends, kick it. But then when Friday, Saturday comes by, it's like slammed, right? So if you go Thursday's the
Except
night
this
to go.
Thursday.
But I'm saying Tuesday's not going to be
Halloween's
too
going to be
lit.
insane.
Yeah,
there.
Oh, yeah.
I would think Halloween in Nashville
nuts.
would be a lot of fun.
Side note, did you guys see this on on Twitter? Cook County, that lineup to Cook County on the weekend?
No.
It went all the way to Vaughn's Steakhouse.
I think that's been the case for a while
That's
now
wild,
because
Halloween party, right?
Well, no.
Everybody's dressed and sexy.
But last
they
year, for one of the watch parties that we had at Hudson's, I think it was that Leafs game where the Oilers got smoked.
They got smoked.
Dahmer came out, and Dusty and Dahmer wanted to go to Cook, and they walked, and there was a massive line. It's just been a thing. It's like almost impossible to get into Cook now.
That's my
These
point.
days.
Why would you even bother? Why are you waiting at Vaughn's? You're not getting in.
I don't even think Vaughn's is open anymore.
I'm
No, I
saying
think
the
you're right.
lineup
No,
went all the way
But
around.
that building,
Yeah.
I think it is closed.
Yeah.
But you're talking about Nashville and how busy it was. So were you with us, Tom, when we were there just before Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving?
I think so, yeah.
So we were there just before American Thanksgiving, and we went out on a Wednesday, and the Wednesday was unbelievable. I've never seen
Yeah.
Nashville this busy.
Yeah.
We had to pull out our NHL cards to get into the bars. We have an
Wow.
NHL card. You show the card. Oh yeah, go into the bar. So finally I said, "What is going on? It's Wednesday." He goes, "Well, it's Blackout Wednesday." Blackout Wednesday. Well, you've heard of Black Friday, right? After the day after Thanksgiving, yeah. So the day before Thanksgiving, when all the college kids come home, we call it Blackout Wednesday.
And they were blacked
They were
out.
blacked out. Oh my God.
Back
So
home from school,
the
hanging out with their
college
old
kids-
friends,
exactly.
getting plastered
kids
before they
come
have to
home from
stuck with family for the next few days.
The kids come home from school and they go out on a Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And they just, Blackout Wednesday.
Americans do
hilarious.
Thanksgiving so much better.
Thanksgiving is such a huge deal in the
Yes.
United States. It is so massive. It is just, it's such a big deal. And then, Blackout Wednesday. And that's one of my favorite terms of all time.
Man.
What's going on? It's Blackout Wednesday. What?
see some
What's
stuff.
Blackout Wednesday?
We should get 2 days for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Well, they take Thursday. They take the whole
Give
week
us
off.
Friday, Monday. We should add the Friday.
Well, don't they?
Us.
Oh,
They get the Thursday, Friday. We only do the Monday.
They get Thursday,
We should do
Friday,
2 days.
Monday.
should.
Tuesday's a terrible travel day, apparently, but yeah.
Since you're a Cowboys fan, have you been there during Thanksgiving?
Dallas? No.
Yeah.
No, I have not. Did I tell you they were going to blow that lead the other day?
You were right.
I was right.
You were right.
You're like, oh, they're winning. Yeah, not for long.
Yeah, because
I
that's
was
what
trying
you
to be
fans
positive
do, you
for your
Cowboys
sake.
fans.
Well, they're just
You
a
guys are
terrible
always just
team.
dead inside. Like it's
No,
He
I've
was
never
such a
been.
Debbie Downer.
Yeah.
I'm
That
like,
would be
they're
a
up.
fun. That'd be a fun game to go to. That Thursday Thanksgiving game.
Yeah, that
be a
would
fun
be
game to go to.
It'd probably be like a hot commodity though, right?
Oh, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'd be pretty sure I'd expect some tickets, but no, that'd be fun. Yeah, we've never been in Dallas.
Not on
I'm trying
Thanksgiving.
to think Thanksgiving. We've like when we were out traveling with the road with the Oilers, we've been to some cool places on
Oh, yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Except for St. Paul. That was not.
St. Paul wasn't great.
Yeah.
We were there on December 30th in New York, the day before the
Yes.
ball, and we were actually flying to Chicago.
We did Chicago.
Yeah,
New Year's.
so we were down.
We will
were
not
down
talk
to-
about what happened that night.
Chicago was a fun night. Well, we don't really
They gotta
remember
talk
much of
about
it because the Oilers were on this road trip, so they were in New York was it a New Year's Eve day afternoon game?
It was an
might
early
have been.
game, and then we flew into Chicago.
Yeah, it was an afternoon game in Chicago. Sorry, in New York. So the day before we went into Manhattan, we were walking around Times Square, and they were preparing everything for the dropping of
Yeah,
the
they
ball
had
the
the
next
ball
day.
and everything.
And
It
then
was
the
kinda
Oilers,
cool.
yes, it was an afternoon game, Madison Square Garden, and then we flew out after the game, got to Chicago, and then they had 2 days off, I think, before the game in Chicago. So which was so we had New Year's Eve. First was off, practice on the second, then played on the third.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, New Year's Eve was a lot of fun.
That seems like an unreal itinerary.
New
like
Year's
just,
Eve in
yeah.
Chicago. It was good times. And then that's when you realize the bars were open in Chicago till 4 a.m. So it's like,
Oh. Chicago's the only place that Dusty missed a morning show.
Well, I was there that night too.
It's the only time. He's never missed a morning show. He's never been later. The draft that was there, Will had to start a show by himself here in Edmonton because Dusty was.
that makes sense. You know,
he was out.
I missed a hit in Chicago once too. Yeah. Like, can we call you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.? 9 a.m. your time? It's like, that's 10 a.m. here. It should be fine. Or 8
Nope.
a.m. or whatever. Nope. Was not when you roll in from the bar at 5 a.m.
What a town.
We got DVD, Jasmine, Gazzola, and Awanik with you here on the EST Hangout, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. That is Edmonton Sports Stock. Reminder, we do have the keyword for the EST flight away to LA, presented by the 780, coming up in the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. Portions of this hour brought to you by The Hive Product Marketing, official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Stock, promotional products that bring the buzz. Check them out, thehiveproductmarketing.com. The pop-up store is live, edmontonsportsstock.com. Clip on shop EST. It's a pop-up store, meaning it's a pre-sale until November 10th, and then afterwards we'll put the order in. Everything should be shipped on or before December 15th. There is no local pickup available for the store. It is only shipping only due to the fact that we don't handle all this. This all happened from a different party than us because we're not a full e-commerce site, so we don't have the ability to just deal with all of that on our own.
Very thorough
is
explanation.
all shipping. Well, we've had some messages yesterday.
Oh, I see.
Asking about it, and it's
Why stuff isn't on your site?
well, why we can't do the why couldn't they just pick up here? And it's it doesn't come here, and we don't
right to
package
you.
up, and we don't do all of that. Otherwise, it would take a lot longer to get to everyone.
We still have
and
people-
then Nasty Club, by the way, sorry, but
Yeah.
if you're a Nasty Club member, go to exclusive offers. There is a discount code in the wording for the store, so just keep that in mind.
We still have people from the Nasty Club year one that haven't picked up their stuff.
Yes, I've had a couple of those. One of those guys messaged me. He's like, "Hey, can I pick up the last year's stuff when I pick up this year?" I'm like, "Sure." In my mind, also thinking, "Are you going to pick up this year's stuff?" I don't know what the timeline is for keeping that stuff. Like,
What's the statute of limitations?
yeah, so they bought a membership stuff. I've saved it for a year. I'll save it for one more year, I think. But I think after 2 years, it's fair game.
Yeah. It was a
do
good
what with it?
merch haul,
Give
too.
it away.
Like,
like a
I'll
coffee
take it.
Just
mug.
throw it away. Maybe Jasmine could get her hat finally.
Maybe get her hat.
Oh, you're getting a hat?
No, I'm waiting for Paulie to tell me.
What's the story behind the hat?
No, everybody's
So-
bored of this story.
At our Nasty Bash,
Please text
there was
Matty.
apparently late at night. It was Jasmine, myself, and Paulie as a trio talking. There was a few other
Yeah,
people, but it was just the trio. And Jasmine says, I promised her a hat, even though I was sold out of hats. I honestly don't remember this.
We were talking about
But
me
she
coming on
says,
the team.
I owe her a hat. But
I said, throw in
Paulie
a
was the
hat.
other. So I
He's like,
said,
yeah, sure.
if Paulie says I said it, I
Then
will
you
gladly
probably
get her a
said it,
hat.
yeah.
Paulie, and
Like, if
Paulie
there's-
said he did.
But Paulie hasn't
Yeah.
told me this.
Paulie told Tommy
No,
on a
no, no.
separate conversation.
Paulie, you said that on Estee's after party, Paulie came up to you and
did.
said, I said it.
Yes.
And then I sat at a table with Paulie that night and he never said anything to
No,
me.
Paulie was, it was the end of the night.
But then
Paulie sat with you, and then he came after to say goodbye. We were
Oh,
very busy.
So he couldn't have said it
And I was
earlier.
hanging out with Mrs. Gazzola.
Sure.
And then he came, and then, he's like, yeah,
And then
he did say it. He's
and
like,
then
I recall.
apparently he told Tommy recently, and I go with
And he's not a controversial person. So why? would
apparently
say
he
this?
told Tommy recently that he kind of remembers.
Yeah.
So it's gone from remembering to a kind of, but also all of this is not Paulie to me. All I want is Paulie
But
telling
you're getting
me.
another order of hats, right? Eventually, at some point.
It's
Yeah,
the
but
principle.
Jasmine won't get one.
Wow. Why wouldn't you give her a hat?
It's the principle.
No,
I should
I
get
agree.
that hat
You should
myself,
get that.
right?
No,
I was just
you
saying,
should, yeah.
I just said you're gonna throw it in, and that was the deal.
The dudes agreed to throw it in.
I don't, but I don't make those deals. Those the Dusty makes those.
You
deals,
made
so.
that deal with me, Mister.
Said I don't believe it.
Yeah, I'm on her side.
Thank you.
That's fine. There's only one person I care about in all of this, and that's Paul Gazzola letting me know one way or another.
Can you please text Pawanik to give Jasmine a hat?
No,
Do
no,
that right
don't
now.
don't tell him
End this
that.
once and for all.
Don't tell him
Poor
that he
Nasty
has to.
have to listen to
I
this
just want to
story.
know.
Yeah.
Can you
Have to put up
please
with it.
text
No.
Pawanik
Well,
to
just-
validate Jasmine's story about getting a free hat?
No, because that's skewing it. I
Okay,
just
then what
want
should I write to my brother right now?
what happened. But to tell Matty what happened in that conversation. I want a yes or a no.
With Jet. Okay, tell.
Did I say it or did I not say it? I don't want a kind of or anything. See,
What?
Well, now you're controlling the
said
text, eh?
I just want
in
a
that-
well because I'm not because he's skewing it.
I'm not skewed. I want
you are the
Jasmine
one
to get a
that's
hat.
skewing everything. Thank you.
I'm not skewing anything here. I want it unbiased, just from Paulie.
It's fine. If I don't get the hat, I was looking at them online yesterday, and I was gonna pick mine out, and it is what it is.
Oh, so now you think you could just pick one?
No, I'm gonna buy it myself because you are not a man of your word.
Yeah. I would just man up and give them that.
Legit. After all I do, I carved this
Exactly.
pumpkin.
You carved the
Okay,
pumpkin.
I have sent him a
Yeah.
message. He
For all
only
you do.
communicates on WhatsApp, which is a bit shady.
He texts me.
I
but
do
he'll text on
WhatsApp. WhatsApp's
regular
the
text.
best.
I know.
And it's
WhatsApp's
encrypted.
actually pretty good.
Yeah.
It is encrypted.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Okay, we'll see if he texts you by the end of the show. Capital C sends in a text via the Paris Jewelers inbox. Says, "Good morning, folks. Do you think the poor play of the Oilers this season will impact Connor McDavid's decision to sign a contract extension here, or the length of the contract if he does sign?" Thanks, Capital C. I'll leave that to you guys.
Go ahead, Jess.
No, of course not. This is, again, they know the rodeo. We've been through this. It's same shit. I get to say it before the month is over. That's the second time I got to say it. Okay.
Dropping the two swear words.
Bad girl.
And I used it here with you.
No,
Okay.
I agree. Like if when Draisaitl signed his big contract,
Thank you.
that means McDavid is staying. They're a package deal.
Yeah,
it's
not-
like Crosby and Malkin. They're a package deal. They've obviously they're good friends. They've talked about it. They were at the wedding. What are we gonna do? I'll sign the 7. You sign the 8. Let's move on. Like he's not going anywhere. Like
Yeah.
these are his people running the team. Jeff Jackson, Paul Coffey. They're in charge, and he had to sign off on Stan Bowman, I'm sure, or they came to him and said, "What do you think of Stan?" So he's not going to get what he wants anywhere else. They're going to pay him the max, whatever the max is going to be. They're going to give him the max contract, so there's no reason for him to leave. And Connor McDavid is a guy. You're talking to him, knowing him. Like there's something to be said about winning where you're drafted, as opposed to winning going somewhere else and winning, right? And these guys want to win where they were drafted, and there's something to be said about that. There's it's the point that the reason he was brought here was to win, and he wants to do it. And I remember we had this discussion a long time ago with the previous rebuild. I can't remember what number we're in, 3 or 4 now, with Sam Gagner and Andrew Cogliano and Tom Gilbert. And they're like, we want to stay here. We want to win here. We don't want to go anywhere else. We were brought here to win, and we want to win. And these guys feel the same way. So forget about Connor McDavid going anywhere. He's not going to Toronto. He's not going anywhere. He's going to sign the maximum contract available, and it'll be the biggest contract in NHL history, and he'll be here for another 8 years after this.
I'm only gonna add this: they're 4-5-1. Like it's okay.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
good, but they're not digging a hole right now.
And also, there's still a year and 3/4 till he's actually a free agent. This summer, he's eligible to just sign that extension, but they still have Connor for next summer or next year as well.
Yeah.
Like, so even if, things bottom out a little bit here because Connor's not here, there's still another year. But to everything you said there, DVD,
Package deal.
it's the moment Leon signed, it ended.
If Leon was not signed, then you'd start worrying, right? Then you'd be like,
Valid.
oh, okay, maybe they're not staying. Well, we'll see. But the moment, you're right. The moment Leon Draisaitl signed that contract, they're both staying.
And then, like, you're not doing that to Leon. All of a sudden, sorry, Leon, I'm just kidding.
That's right.
I'm off.
They're boys.
Have fun.
They're loyal,
Yes.
Unlike some people.
Yeah. They're true to their word.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you're trying to say. He doesn't even remember
There's
his word.
one other witness.
Must have
I
been a
just
pretty
want
good
the
party.
one other
Yeah,
witness
yeah.
because there was only 3 of us.
He wants validation.
To what Surveyor Brett is even saying, there's only one other person there.
You can like call Polly right now.
Yes, he wants
Put him
validation.
on the air like when we do the
Yeah.
EST flyaway. Yeah.
Nice.
I could connect quickly there, but I don't want to do that. Actually,
Funny that would
we
be.
did that at South Fork Chev.
Try to call
With Quinn.
Yeah.
To be honest,
I
for all
felt
she
bad though
does
because I
for-
was worried about voicemail.
Why don't we call Paul?
For all she does for EST, she should be decked out in EST. gear.
I agree.
Right?
Right?
I travel a lot.
Yeah, that's
and I'm-
awesome. Yeah,
wrap
yeah.
it.
Travel around.
Yeah.
I'm out and about.
I need to
Yeah.
Mel grab that after.
Represents. Yeah, you should.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
sure.
DDD. I appreciate
I
that.
totally agree with that. Hey, I get new gear every 3 months.
Yeah, but you work
Yeah, you
for
work
the
for the
NHL.
NHL.
This is new.
Yeah.
This is
NHL.com.
new. Modeling it today on the show. He goes, oh, they gave me $150 in new gear this week. And I'm like,
Wow.
what are you getting next week? He's like, I don't know. We'll see what they send me.
Well, it's not every week. Maybe every.
Basically,
every 2
Saturday.
weeks.
Oh, yeah.
I have to do it bi-weekly.
He's like, I got
the check comes one week, and then the next
Yeah.
week I get the check for the
Hey,
money for
well,
the
it's
merch.
funny because
Yeah.
Jim Matheson was on me about that. He's like, "Well, why don't you get stuff for us?" I was like, "I would be happy to get stuff for you, Jim, but you got to walk around and show it proudly at the rink. He's like, oh, I don't know if I'd wear NHL stuff. Then I'm not gonna get you.
Oh, exactly.
Legit.
You gotta wear it if you want it.
I love the league, but I'm not going to walk around with an NHL logo for S&Gs.
You don't want to be Rob Lowish?
No, I don't. I'd love to be Rob Lowe because I feel like he's had a great life, but I don't want to
He's
wear
just
the
cheering for the league.
shield. Yeah.
I still find that so weird that you'd go to an NFL game. Not like Dusty wears the CFL hat.
Yeah.
And I get it, also broadcaster type,
Yeah.
but you're just a fan of football and you chose to wear an NFL shield hat.
I know. I found that so odd.
It was pretty funny.
Is that Rob Lowe wearing an NFL hat? It is. It
He was
is.
promoting his new show.
I could go get anything I want. I want an NFL hat.
Just the logo on a black cap. That's it.
Speaking of, it's like anything but the Yankees. How do you feel? I couldn't wait to bring this up.
Oh,
I wasn't.
Sweep, would you say?
I
Coming right
think
up?
the Yankees find a way to get one.
You think today? I
think they find a way to still
kinda
get
do
one.
too.
Is Garrett Cole getting the start today? I think Garrett Cole's scheduled to start today. I got to take a look here quickly. No, they blew it in game one. Once game one was done, once they blew that one, I felt they were going to lose this series. No, they're going with Gill today, so they're not even going with Cole. Once they lost game one, I thought that was serious. They wasted a Garrett Cole start. They should have had that game. Aaron Boone is an awful manager. He should have been fired 4 years ago, and they've stuck with him. And the worst part
to this argument.
No, he's been a trash manager for a long time. He screwed up in game one. He took out Garrett Cole too soon. He screwed up in game two. He's not making the right moves. And now that he got to the World Series, they're going to fire him now.
no.
So they're stuck with him now. And then Juan Soto's going to go to the Mets. So this was the shot for the Yankees to win their first World Series since 2009. It's not going to happen.
I think you need to play better. You've
Yeah.
been lackluster this whole series.
Legit.
Aaron Judge is
exactly.
becoming the new A-Rod. Great regular season performer. Can't get it done in the postseason. It's been a couple postseasons. He hasn't been able to play great. You look at that and you go, okay, that's fine. It's maybe just a couple. This year, now through 3 series, it's just not there. So he's slowly turning into the new A-Rod, which is awesome. He could play great in the regular season. You can hit all these bombs. You could be this superstar. But when it counts, you're not producing. Juan Soto has produced these playoffs. Stanton's produced these playoffs. Judge has not in that. So
Thanks.
Yankees are favored today.
they were favorite yesterday,
Just letting you know.
and they lost.
Yeah.
Series is over. It was over after game one.
Wow.
I've resigned
defeated.
after
Matty,
game one.
like
I was
it.
resigned to the fact that it was over. I knew it right there.
Yeah. Well, I'm a Dodgers fan, so.
You are like an actual Dodgers
Well,
fan?
yeah, because I've been I've been to Chavez Ravine. What, 8 times now? We've been there?
8?
Fair.
I think
I've only
8.
been there like once or
Oh, I
twice.
thought you've been. I think we've been at least twice. So
right.
I've been to Dodger Stadium about 7 or 8 times, and I love Dodger Stadium. Like,
You've
my
been to Yankee Stadium.
Well, once.
We went there.
You
One
rolled.
time. One time we went to Yankee
New.
Stadium.
New.
Yeah.
New. So
was
my
awesome.
favorite experience at Dodger Stadium. This was a bunch of years ago. Remember when David Beckham was going to
course
play
I know.
soccer up here?
Yeah,
Did you
bending
go to
like
that-
Beckham.
Did
Yeah.
you go to that game?
No.
No, okay.
I did.
So they were playing the Whitecaps here, and they decided instead of bringing David Beckham up here to kind of promo the game, they were going to take a bunch of media guys to LA. So they invited a bunch of us to LA to come go to a LA practice and watch a game and talk to David Beckham. Like we would have our own little Edmonton section to go talk to David Beckham, which I thought was really cool. So we went, a bunch of us went. I think there was about 6 or 7 of us that went. We flew down to LA, and then we spent all day at the soccer facility, the practice facility. We talked to David Beckham. We all did our stories down there. And then it was like 5 o'clock, 5:30. We're like, we should go to the Dodgers game. And then a bunch of us were like, well, yeah, but we're hungry. We haven't eaten anything all day. And then we found online that the Dodgers had this bleacher special, $40, all the food and all the hot dogs you could drink, all the popcorn you could, or all the hot dogs you can eat, all the popcorn you can eat, all the pop you can drink. I'm like, this sounds like a great deal,
That is a
guys.
great
This is a great
deal.
deal. Yeah, but it was the bleachers in Dodger Stadium, which you've never been to the bleachers in Dodger Stadium.
Was ghetto?
It's
a bit rough.
A rough place to be. So we're there at Dodger Stadium, and it's just the bleachers, and you kind of sit anywhere, right? You sit wherever you want. And because it was free, like $40 for all the hot dogs and pop you can drink, it turned into a massive food fight in the bleachers. That's all it was.
What?
There was massive food fights, massive brawls. massive. And then it got
with rival teams or just like everybody?
within each other.
That's
This one, we were in front, we were behind this group of they were kids, they were younger kids. One girl got really drunk and she kept spilling her beer on the guy beside her.
Ooh.
And the guy finally said, "Could you stop spilling your beer on me?" And then she got all up in his face.
Lost it.
The boyfriend was trying to pull her away. And then the boyfriend's buddy was like, "Get control. This is ridiculous. She's going to get us killed. We're going to get in a fight." And it was like, finally I turned, I think it was to Mindar. I was with Mindarwell and
Adam Cook.
Adam Cook was there.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Guys, we got to go sit at the top of the bleachers. Because if stuff's going to happen, it's going to happen in front of us. I want it all to happen in front of us.
Don't let it. You don't want anyone behind you
Fights
either.
behind
No.
you,
Oh
fights.
my God.
And I got that advice from a bouncer. I had a friend that used to bounce over at Barry T's. He goes, "When stuff happens, get your back to the wall, man, because you want everything to happen in front of you." So I said, "Okay, guys, let's go to the top row of the bleachers, and then we'll be able to." And
Watch this.
I couldn't even tell you who won the game. Like they were playing the Rockies. There was so much going on. It's like we were like, "What the heck was that? Like, what an experience!" Like,
Wow, that's true.
we still talk to Adam about it, and Matt and Darwell. I mean, bring him up. It was like, what just happened here? And like, so they got rid of the $40
All you can eat.
all you can eat because it was like
In
it was turned
conclusion.
into a massive food
Yeah.
fight. You eat 2 hot dogs, you get in a fight, you throw a hot dog at someone, you throw a pop at someone, you just go back and get another one. You come back and it was like
So
what seemed like a
stupid.
good idea at the time. So that was my first experience at the
Don't
and you
waste
couldn't go
nacho
anywhere.
cheese,
Once you're in
okay?
the bleachers, you're in the bleachers. You couldn't go to the rest of the stadium.
That was old Yankee
Oh.
Stadium.
Wow.
The only time I went to old Yankee Stadium, got tickets to the bleacher area, but we weren't allowed to
Yeah.
look at the rest of Yankee
That
Stadium.
sucks.
Yeah,
you were stuck in the bleachers. It had its own separate entrance, own separate exit. Couldn't go to the rest of the stadium.
Real fans sit in the bleachers of those teams.
They do, but you
The fans are in the bleachers.
at your own peril.
Yeah, no, 100%. The fans
Totally
are in
at
the
your own
bleachers.
peril. Like at the bleachers at Dodger Stadium, that particular game, and yeah, and you could not wear like there was a Rockies fan there. That
No,
guy
you can't.
He got pelted so badly, and like he had to leave.
Especially in the food fight
Oh
area.
my god! It was the whole place was a food fight. It was crazy. That and then I went to when I was in Argentina. I was in Buenos Aires. I went to a Boca Juniors game and I sat with the rowdies behind the net, which is the scariest thing in my life.
Is that right?
I'm going to die here today. It was the scariest thing. After a while, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it went from the scariest thing I've ever done. Like, what are you doing, you idiot? You're gonna get yourself killed. To this is the best thing. This is the most incredible experience of my life. Like. So between Dodger Stadium thinking you're going to get killed or get caught in a food fight and Boca Juniors thinking you're going to get thrown over the balcony, it was pretty good. Those are my two.
You've seen some crazy stuff. Like,
I've
you've been very
I've been to some
fortunate.
crazy
Was
stuff.
there no
yeah.
security there? Or were they just like,
no, security could
or
just
like,
stood
I'm
there.
good.
You're
Yeah,
not messing with that.
No, they're just standing there going, making sure no one runs on the field. That's my job.
No one runs
I'm
on the
not going
field.
to get into melees.
Hopefully no one gets
And there was
killed.
just
That's about it.
Melee after melee after melee. I'm like, there's a fight here. There's a fight here. There's a fight here. We're like, we didn't even watch the game.
It'll take care of itself. It's like a fire. It'll burn out on its own.
Yeah.
Once
The
in a
fight will
while.
happen, but it'll end on its
Yeah.
own.
But the one in front of us was like, okay, we got to go because there's going to be a mass. We're going to be right in the middle.
I like
of
how
this
she
massive-
was spilling the beer, and
She
then
was
she
spilling the
gets
beer.
mad.
Here, so.
At Chavez, somebody did get like shanked and died outside of
Oh,
Dodger
it-
Stadium
for a
a few
while
years
there,
later.
Dodger Stadium was really,
Yeah.
really dangerous place for visiting fans.
Yeah.
You couldn't go there.
Yeah.
It was almost like gangland going there. You couldn't wear visitor colors. And the big rivalry is the Giants, San Francisco. So there was a San Francisco Giants fan that got stabbed outside the stadium. So we went to a Dodgers San Francisco game and that was pretty intense. That was
Which
and-
one did we go to? Who did we see them play?
we were there with Jack Michaels, right?
Yeah,
and,
and Mark
yeah.
Ciampa.
Can't remember what it was.
We saw Larry King. He was sitting below us
Yeah,
with
Larry
one
King
of
was
his
sitting there.
15 kids.
Yeah.
Mary Hart's still there, I believe.
Yeah.
It's a
It's
great
fun.
it's a
I
great
love
old
it.
park. I love
It was
it.
neat.
Fernando Valenzuela died the other day, so I went back and saw the 30 for 30 on Fernando Mania. If you guys have never seen that one, it's one of the best. It's awesome. Talks about the history of Chavez Ravine and how when they moved the Dodgers from Brooklyn, they were looking for a place to build a stadium, and Chavez Ravine it's basically a hill in the middle of town. Like you get downtown, then there's a big hill, and then the Mexican migrants had taken over that area and kind of built their houses and stuff. And they decided, nope, we're going to build our stadium. And then they bulldozed all the houses and took all the Mexican migrants out of there. So it was, and then the owner said, we need a Mexican star player to bring these Mexican fans back into the stadium. And they found Fernando Valenzuela. So it was
Good
super
trapper
interesting.
too.
Huh?
Good trapper.
Good
too.
trapper. I saw him play here with the Trappers when he was with the Anaheim Angels, and they sent him down to AAA. And Dad's got Fernando Valenzuela's playing. Let's go watch him pitch. Okay. Yeah.
We have some text to get to in regard to the Yankees. Matthew from Bones says, "You don't have to be your best all the time. You have to be your best when it's time." Yankees missed that advice. And then Aiden says, Aaron Judge averaged this postseason 140. Lou Gehrig averaged in 1939 when he had ALS 143. Ouch. That's a deep cut and a nice dive into
I saw
the
that one
past.
on Twitter yesterday.
Yeah. Okay. So someone dug that one out.
Is iHeartRadio working?
It's back.
Okay.
Yeah.
The stream's back.
Matthew's all over it.
So have you been to the old Yankee Stadium?
Just the one time.
Yeah.
In those bleachers. Although, so when they tore it down, I bought dirt, grass, and a brick from Monument Park, all from the old stadium.
Well, I know a guy that went, and do they still have the mound of old Yankee Stadium in the parking lot there, don't they?
I'd assume so.
Yeah.
When I was in Atlanta for Copa, I was staying actually by what was called Turner Field, but then down the road from there was, I can't remember what the stadium was called when Hank Aaron played, and it's now just a parking lot. And they have the bases still in the parking lot, and they have this little wall for Hank Aaron and stuff. But people just park there. But on these parking spots, there's a home plate,
Oh, that's
first,
pretty
second,
cool.
third. So I would assume the Yankees would do something like
That
that.
is pretty cool.
I think. What do they do in Philly? Philly has something there for like their old football stadium, or they have a couple of things that are up.
Veteran
I think.
Stadium.
I think.
Well, all of that's on the same lot of land, like
Yeah, Philly's got it
Wells
all-
Fargo
all-
Center, Lincoln Financial, and I can't remember Citizen Bank
Yeah,
Bank
the bank,
Ballpark.
yeah.
It's all
Yep.
that's where the Spectrum was. That's where the Veteran Stadium was. It's all in the same plot of land. Like imagine Northlands that has a football stadium, baseball stadium, and hockey
Yeah.
arena.
And apparently this year there was 2 games. There's a football game and a baseball game, and it was chaos down there. Absolute chaos.
There was
that's-
somewhere else that happened too recently. I can't remember
Yeah,
where
but
it
that's
was.
because in Seattle it's kind of similar. The baseball stadium is right beside the football
Same
stadium.
with Denver.
Denver, and
Yeah.
they do places like that. So they just all.
I know, but it wouldn't have been as big of a traffic thing, but there was an Athletics and a Golden State Warriors NBA Finals game. But Oakland Athletics wasn't a big deal. I think that was the Draymond Green got kicked out of that game when he went to the A's game.
Did he? Yeah.
I think
he
so.
really?
I think that was the
Literally,
story
like,
that he got kicked out. It was right, so he went
Step
there.
100 feet out the
But yeah,
door there.
their
You go
traffic, they didn't have to worry about much because not many people were at
That
those
was
athletics
like when
games.
Jeremy Roenick wasn't in the lineup and for the Blackhawks in
went to the
Vancouver,
bar.
and he went to the bar. He went to Moxie's and hung out in Moxie's. Isn't your team playing? I'm not playing tonight. Yes, they are.
That's them. I'm not playing.
This is the EST Hangout, the official drink of the EST Hangout. It is the Finnish long drink legend of 1952, a drink unlike any other sparkling refreshment, real liquor. Longdrink.com/Canada is where you can go to see which stores in Edmonton have it. Go get it. It's absolutely delicious with that grapefruit flavor, and see if you can still find that peach one. Or not still find it. If you can find that peach one, and then let us know, because I need to go crush some of those down. DVD, Jasmine, Tom, and Matt with you here on the EST Hangout live on Edmonton Sports Talk, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, tune in, iHeartRadio, YouTube, as well as wherever you get your podcast. Let's get to the keyword. For the EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780. The 780 Laymass low budget local shop online at 780.com. That's the word 7, number 80.com, or in store at Londonderry, EIA, Southgate, St. Albert, or Kingsway. There's your word. I don't have it on the screen today. I forgot to do that.
44? That one? Okay.
That one.
Oh, this one? Okay.
Yeah.
It is.
Wait. I'm not ready there. I was just giving you so you can read that.
I hope
We're
it's the
sending
right
you to
one.
LA
Yeah.
December 26th through to December 30th. Flight, hotel, car, tickets to see Warriors and Clippers at Intuit Dome, Clippers to see Rams, Cardinals at SoFi Stadium, as well as tickets to see either Edmonton take on Anaheim or Edmonton to take on LA. Jasmine, the keyword for today.
The keyword is backboard. Backboard.
That's correct. It is backboard. Text backboard to 780-218-9999. Trev will give someone a call in the next few minutes. Got to answer your phone. I'll speak with you on the air. And then you'll go into a draw November 29th on the morning show. We'll give this bad boy away. So we still have just a little over a month of qualifying opportunities. So we're about halfway through this. But backboard, 780-218-9999 to get into the EST flyaway draw to LA presented by the 780 for the Hangout today.
That sounds like a fun trip.
It
Not
should
bad.
be a fun one. And actually, so I mentioned this, I think, last week.
Where are they staying?
We get to decide that after. We haven't paid for the hotel yet.
Okay, because
We'll kind of leave it up.
because if they're going to the Oilers game in Anaheim and the Oilers game, like it will have a bearing on. Like if you have to drive all the way from LA to Anaheim, it could take you a while to get there. But if you're kind of in the middle, so when we covered the,
Where are you going with this?
what I'm
curious.
saying is like when we covered the, what do they call the highway series between the Ducks and the Kings back in the day?
Yeah, I don't know.
So back in the day when the Oilers weren't making the playoffs, Post Media would send us to cover other series, which was the best thing in the world. And they said to me, "Hey, would you like to go to Los Angeles and cover the Kings Ducks series?" I was like, "Yes, I
Yeah.
would. Yes, I would."
Send me.
And so basically, we were driving between the two locales, and it's in traffic. You get stuck in traffic.
Traffic there is awful. Yes.
So we decided to stay in Long Beach, and then we were in Long Beach, halfway to Anaheim, halfway to LA. So half of us would go. There's the group of media guys, right? So and these guys decided to practice in different their own rinks.
Yeah.
So half of us would go to Anaheim, half of us would go to LA, and Long Beach was kind of our. So I spent 16 days in Long Beach,
Wow.
which is on the company dime.
Oh, wow.
And a
That's
car.
a long time.
It was
Yeah.
good. And I was like, please go 7 games this series. Please go 7. I want this thing to go 7 because I'm having such a good time. So yeah, so hung out in a hotel in Long Beach.
No, I was with our travel agent that we're dealing with on this. We've kind of left it that will allow try to figure out where the person wants to stay.
Yeah.
In a little more sense if they want to stay in certain spots because to your point with the Ducks, but there's also like if the Rams cards, because the NFL hasn't announced all their when games are being played for that week. It's Christmas week in that one.
At what time they've been played?
Well, the
It's
day
a flex game.
There's
Oh, okay.
days, so they're going to play 3 games on the Saturday, and they've picked 6 games that are options to play on the Saturday. They just haven't
Okay.
decided which of the 3 games they are going to move to the Saturday. So if that game gets moved to the Saturday, Oilers Ducks is on the Sunday.
Okay.
So that's how we'll do it. Oilers Kings is on the Saturday in the afternoon. But so if Rams Cards is on the Sunday, Oilers Kings is at 1 Pacific on the Saturday. Lakers Kings is 7:30 Pacific on the Saturday as well.
So it's a doubleheader.
So somebody could go do a double. If whoever wins this, if they wanted to go get tickets, we're getting tickets just for the 3 games and stuff. But if it all maps out and they go, you want to know something? We're already here. Let's also do Kings and Lakers. They could do a doubleheader that day too. There's a lot
great.
happening.
The playoffs
That
last
LA
year.
one
That
is
is
a
so
great
good.
one right now.
Playoffs last year, they had, I think they had a doubleheader. It was pretty cool. So, and we were trying to get Lakers tickets. So the one time when we were in LA and we sent a note to the Clippers media guy, hey, there's a bunch of media guys from Edmonton. You guys think you can get us tickets? Yeah, no problem. We were
They wanted people there?
5 rows up. It was like, this
those
is
are
awesome.
great
Those are
seats.
great seats. Lakers
Wow.
guy, not a chance.
No.
And then we looked up how much the Lakers seats were for the same seat we sat for the Clippers game.
5 times.
It was like 5 times as much.
That's
Whoa,
awesome.
this is a little
Bro,
different.
yeah.
The franchises are a little different.
We were sitting in our seats
yeah.
and we're like, this is fantastic. And we're like, what's the price for the tickets tomorrow? Champa looks it up. He's like, only 5 times as much.
So, yeah, that's it. But no, it's fun when the Lakers are there. It's fun. So that'll be a great trip.
Yeah, the rink though, it's not going to be as busy as it once was without those Clippers there.
No,
Oh,
they'll
shucks.
find stuff. That arena has. Someone told me has like over 400 things happening.
Events,
in
yeah.
because there's double headers. That just means there won't be as many double headers. I mean, so,
Wow, those weekends, the turnaround that they would have there because you got
it's
to manage
unbelievable.
Clippers, Lakers, and Kings.
Yeah.
All switching all those things around, the merch, everything. The Clippers, they covered everything up of the Lakers.
yeah, they covered the
They-
banners.
They, covered all those things up. And then, so when they're done, then you got to show those again. There was the T Swift banner. I don't know if they covered the T Swift banner, but
The Kings wanted that one. They thought it was bad luck. Didn't they cover it for
Did
their
they?
games? I
Somebody
think so.
covered the Taylor Swift
Yeah.
banners. Like, so,
I think that's bad
We should
juju.
cover the Garth Brooks banner here, but that's another
You
story.
should just
No, that's
move
why I
it
brought
to
it
the
up.
corridor between the
should move it to the-
DCA
let's get it out of
and
that
Fort
building.
Hall.
Like, that's-
Get it away from those
let's go.
beautiful Oil Kings
Yeah.
banners that were well earned
let's
and
move on.
deserved.
Rogers Place is an entertainment facility, not a hockey facility.
And you can still
so welcome
celebrate
everyone.
that by putting
Yeah,
the stupid
putting-
Garth Brooks banner in the corridor.
Yes. And people can revere it and look at it. And, oh, he played
9 sold out
shows in
2017.
I'm with Tom on this. Sorry. We have the thing
I'm
is
with
the
Tom on
reason
this
is
one, too.
because we're in the press box and we're looking right at that stupid
stupid.
banner.
Oh, you guys don't have to look at it where you guys sit. It's on the further end.
It's right down. It's
right
like
there.
Oh,
There's
I
the
see.
stupid banner. It's like, oh my
This bit
god.
where my seat was, back down the row, closer to where like the food is, isn't it?
It's a little, yeah, but
Yeah,
That
it's a
doesn't
little
change the
wave.
fact that it is a stupid banner.
yes, it's a ridiculous.
Garth
Yeah,
earned
it's
it.
like why?
No,
think-
he didn't.
Garth, he did so
Do you think
nine
he cares?
sold
Do you
out
think
shows.
Garth Brooks cares?
I know he
No.
doesn't
You think
because
he
our
could find
buddy,
Edmonton on a map?
We-
We'd be like, hey, Garth, you were 9 shows in Edmonton. Show us where Edmonton is on the map.
our buddy
Exactly.
Johnny, who's actually works for Garth Brooks and was on the Hangout,
Yeah,
said he's
Johnny
texted a picture to Garth and got no response.
Oh, left on red. Worst.
Yeah, Garth
And like
Brooks.
Garth texted, like so that's not like he just texted Garth ever. Like they have conversations with him. But when he sent the picture, nothing was
He
responding.
doesn't. Garth Brooks does not care
He
that
does
he has
not
a banner
care.
at Rogers Place. You know what he would probably say? He's like, they put a banner up of me in Canada. What city? Edmonton, I think. What's the building called? Rogers House? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
You know,
even
like,
that far. I
He
bet.
doesn't give two
Yeah,
iotas.
he does not.
Yeah,
care.
it's pretty cringe. Take it down.
Take
It's not
it
like
down.
Billy Joel over at the Islanders building.
Way different.
What does he have at the Islanders?
Well, the
He
old,
has one at
the old-
Philly,
yeah,
New
the
York
old-
Islanders.
I didn't know he had
and,
Islanders.
Yeah, the old Islanders building. He had played it 25 times. there or
no, it was
something.
like 90 sold out shows.
Maybe
It's
90,
like
right.
ridiculous.
Because MSG makes sense because he was actually held residency.
Yeah.
He was a tenant
Yeah.
of MSG until I believe just this past year. I think he's now no longer doing the residency there. So that one always made the most sense.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I could have seen Billy Joel.
That would have been cool. MSG
Could've
is
been a
cool
fun
because
soul.
you go to MSG.
Oh, so cool.
When we walked into the media entrance and like, yeah, we're going down to the arena.
There's no going
no,
down.
you're going up to the
You're
arena.
going up.
Up to the arena. Yeah, you're going up to the third floor.
it's like
fifth
It's on the 5th floor.
It's on
the rink's
fifth
on the
floor,
5th
yeah.
floor of
Really?
the arena.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're going up. We're going up. No, we're going to arena level. Arena level is on the 5th floor.
Yes.
And they're like,
Crazy.
What are you idiots? You move going up. Because I guess below
There's
is
a
the
theater.
subway.
No,
Well, there's another theater
Subway
underneath.
and like a 5,000 seat theater.
Because
at
I think
street
that's
level.
where they did have done like NBA drafts in the past. Is it the theater of MSG?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you have to, and then if you want, you can walk the ramp.
Yeah.
You know that ramp?
Yeah.
And it's like it takes like
Yeah. So
8
that's
minutes
the
to
first,
climb
going
it.
up.
Yeah.
Going up. No, I'm going down everywhere. So it's going up.
it's a cool facility.
Are they
Is
done
it?
the renos? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah, they did
Finished?
$1 billion.
Because it took a couple years because
$1
they did it over the
billion.
summers and
$1
all of
billion.
that. But
So it's
Essentially
all
built
new?
a new building.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
wow.
just
Kept
It's
the
awesome.
shell and they built
Yeah.
the new building inside.
Yeah.
So it's unbelievable.
It's really
You've been
cool.
in New York?
Not yet.
Oh, we gotta go.
Jasmine, you gotta go.
I know, but every time I want to go, my friends are already gone. They're like, let's go somewhere new. But I want to go watch
York.
like Fallon and stuff. So.
Yeah,
Yeah, New
Yeah.
York's New
it's
York's
phenomenal.
fun,
And
fun
watch the
place.
Knicks, right? Yeah.
We
I
I've
was
been
there-
to a Knicks game.
I was
Had a
there
great
this summer.
time.
We were there next
Yeah.
time. We were
I want
there
to see
next
those
year.
rowdy fans.
Knicks let us come. Well, I sent an email to the Knicks guy and said, "Hey, there's 5 Edmonton reporters. Can we get us tickets?" He goes,
How
"You
about
guys
seats?
He goes, "You guys need tickets in the press box. You guys need to get access." I was like, "No, we just want to come see the game." So they put us in the auxiliary press box, which was fine.
Dude,
We
it was
got
like
in-
a suite.
Yeah, it was like a suite. It
was
like
awesome.
an
Wow.
auxiliary press
Yeah.
suite. And I remember Jackman goes, "How'd you get these tickets?" It's like everywhere we go, we just email the people.
Yeah.
And can you let us in? And
worst they're
usually-
going to do is say no.
Worst thing I do. That's how we got into a Cowboys game. We got into Dallas Mavericks games. We got into a bunch of baseball games. So it's a perk.
Have you ever got a chance to sit courtside at any game?
I have
Once.
Really?
Courtside. You know what? They had us courtside, the media courtside for the Raptors game here when they played last
Yep.
year. They had us behind the basket.
That's the one.
Yeah.
I
you do that?
I did that one, but I got tickets to Raptors Heat when it was the big 3 in Toronto behind the Raptors bench.
Oh, really?
So it was like row 2 or whatever, but the the players are right in front of you and stuff.
Unreal.
It was awesome.
That's on my bucket list.
I honestly, I would say
I want
this.
that.
Courtside at a Raptors game?
No, not a
Basketball?
Raptors game. That's not
I think
No, just
something more cool to see, like Durant or
I think if
LeBron
you were
or
a sports
something
fan, like
that.
a bit of a basketball fan, I think one day in your life, spend the money and just sit courtside somewhere. I don't care
Legit.
what game. Like if it is a Raptors, go do it.
No. It has to be like something unreal where celebrities are like
No.
legit right
Courtside at
there.
No.
Lakers is a
You had
little
other
different than
athletes
courtside.
sitting there.
It's not
You had
about
NFL
that.
players sitting there. I
No,
want to see that.
It's just sitting that close to a game and watch them do it right there. It's a different vibe.
Yeah.
I don't care about the celebs as much. You're saying like drop 20 grand for your tickets.
Yeah, those tickets
I'm
are-
saying drop like $1,000 for these tickets.
Okay.
Yeah. The celebrity, they don't, on the website, you can't find how much courtside tickets are because basically they say either you can afford them, like like the people that are buying.
Right.
So
Dallas, we had like row 2 or 3 for one game, for a Mavs game. And that was amazing. And like you might be able to find, like if you want like the celebrities or whatever, you might find some in like Dallas or Arizona, Denver.
Yeah.
Like
I think we paid $10 for a Minnesota Timberwolves game once.
yeah, we sat in the last row in the top deck. It was awful. We got free food and meet and greet with the cheerleaders.
$10. It's $10, guys. Let's go see a basketball.
That's what makes baseball so much fun is that baseball is
cheap,
generally with the bleachers
Yeah,
especially.
you go.
Because it's 162 games, they're selling 81 regular season games. That Tuesday through Thursday, especially, or Monday through Thursday.
Yeah. But just
$6,
be
$7, $8 for the
weary.
bleachers.
You know what? The bleachers are probably not as bad now in Dodger Stadium. I'm sure they're still.
They renovated them.
He's talking about, I think, the crowd.
the crowd.
Oh, the crowd.
Because there's no
Good
food
point.
fights anymore.
Yeah.
That was a great food fight.
You can still find ways to get
Oh my
fights. though.
God.
There's always something
And
to
there'd
get
be a
into a fight
lineup.
over.
You're allowed to have 2 hot dogs at a time, I think, and 2 pops at a time. Then you just go up there, either you throw them and then go back. Or they're like, and they were the good Dodger dogs
No
too.
big
They weren't
deal.
the cheap.
They weren't just
their last
smaller,
one?
cheaper ones.
Someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoopsies.
It was like, and I ended up having 8 of them. I think that was a bad night. It's like when they're free food, you're like, oh,
You got to get your money's worth. You paid $40. I need $40 worth
I'll
of
have
this.
another. Like, how many you have? I had 8.
hot dogs.
And we're like, oh, at the end of the day, we're like, oh, with the Dodger dogs. What are we doing, boy?
I didn't go attempt it this year, so I failed. But next year, I got to find the date to go to a Riverhawks game and do 9 beers, 9 hot dogs through 9.
Maybe we get like a little thing with
9
Hogle
beers,
and he
9
helps
hot
cut
dogs.
the price
eh?
of that.
Wow.
I think I could do it.
That's
And I looked at this with Mooner and Hopka actually. We were at a game
T-Hop?
this year. Yeah, I was at a game this year, ran into them,
All
sat
right.
with them, and we were looking at it because I was trying to find what the rules are for it. And thank you, Trev, by the way.
Well, how many beers at a time can you
Well,
buy?
can you do it? Well, no, like the rules of like, do you have to have 1 hot dog and 1 beer per inning? Like, do you have to actually in that inning do it?
Geez.
And what we could find online was no. You just have to get it done by the time the game ends. So from first pitch to last out, you just have to get it done. So that changes your strategy, how you do things. But like, if that, you don't want to also blow it because all of a sudden, the home team wins in the top of the 9th and you don't go to the bottom 9th and you're banking on that half inning or something. You got to be fully prepared.
I think it should be 1 per inning.
That's hard.
So you got to be able to. So do you go hard with the hot dogs early? Or do you go hard with the beer early?
Beer.
Beer early?
Yes.
Well,
Well, you gotta eat.
Yeah.
I guess the balance there, but
So do you crush like 3 dogs first?
No.
Make sure you're done 3, then go to the beers for a bit. Like that's the
beers are
strategy you got to
fulfilling
think
too,
about
though.
that.
this seems
Yeah,
like
that's
a
a lot.
challenge. Yeah, that's 9
Wait.
beers is a lot in a baseball
Heartburn,
game.
indigestion,
That's
diarrhea.
9 beers in like 2.5 hours. That's a lot.
not unless you're in Ohio State.
Well, we were there all night.
Oh,
We were
yeah.
there all night. In my defense, we got there like at 6.
No, we got there at like 4, man. It was like we were early.
We were early. So, and the night went till 2 in the morning. So it
Yeah.
was a stretch.
Your eye, like one of
It
them was
was
like
just
this,
like
and the other one didn't
The
work
time to
anymore.
go home.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, they dropped the bucket, and you're like, how much is it? $6. And there's like
think-
8 beers in that bucket.
I don't think
And
you
there's
spoke
4 of
English.
us.
It was just Spanish, and it wasn't even good
It got
Spanish.
crazy.
Time to qualify someone for the EST Flyaway to Los Angeles, presented by the 780. Who am I speaking with right now?
It's Tyson.
Tyson, congratulations. You are now in the mix to possibly win this trip to LA. Have you ever been to LA before?
I have a long time ago, yeah.
Oh, a long time
So
ago.
happy to go again.
Perfect. Yeah. Who would you take with you if you win? And what would you be most excited to go see? NBA, NFL, NHL, or just being down south in the winter?
Probably have to take the wife. Took off to the Spangler Cup for a boys trip last year, so
Oh.
probably the Intuit Dome. So it'd be quite cool to see.
How was Spangler Cup?
Pretty crazy. Definitely a trip that any hockey fan needs to experience once in their life.
When you went to the Spangler Cup, did you also go to the top of the mountain for the chicken wings and fries or whatever Dusty had? Chicken fingers and
tendies,
chicken tenders and fries.
No, that would be my order, though.
Well, congratulations, Tyson. Keep your phone on November 29th because if you're the big winner, the boys will give you a call in the morning to let you know that you're off to LA.
Awesome. Thank you guys very much.
There's Tyson. 2 more chances to qualify today to be like Tyson. One coming up EST afternoons with Hernan and Gager, and once during the Reed Wilkins show with Reed Wilkins and Jay Mill. That's the EST flyaway to LA. Tyson went to Spangler Cup last year, which would be a bucket list trip.
That would have been awesome.
That is a bucket list trip. Spangler Cup, yeah.
You went to Prague for 3 days for the NHL junket.
It wasn't even 3 days.
It was 1 day.
It was
one
one
day.
full day.
It was 1 full day.
You're like, I look at this bar I found. Look at this bar I found. I'm like, didn't you just get there?
Yeah. It was 1 day. Flew there. Tell you what, though, it wasn't bad because they flew KLM. And that KLM flight from here to Amsterdam it's a very good flight. 8 hours goes by like that. It's 3 movies. You're done. Get a little nap time in. Once you're at Amsterdam, everything else is like an hour and a half away. It was actually the easiest trip I've done to Europe. I did once. Yeah, I remember Edmonton used to have an Edmonton to London flight, and they would fly over the pole, which was a good one too. Yeah, so, but that KLM flight is good. If anyone's going to Europe, I highly recommend that flight. And it was
Parents
good.
just took that one
Is it?
in September.
Yeah, it's really good. So I got there. I had
meals.
that day because I had the 8-hour change. So I got there at 10 in the morning or 11 in the morning. Had that day. We did the whole thing the next day, and then left the third day. So it was, whirlwind, in and out. I'm not going to complain. They sent me to Prague for crying out loud.
Just flexing on us all show,
just
eh?
saying.
He's
Yeah.
flexing today. I like it.
It's all good. It's
The
good
next show, I'll
flex.
tell you about the 8 weeks I spent in Qatar.
Were you there for 8?
No, 6.
Okay.
6. It wasn't 8.
Because the
'Cause I
World
did-
Cup,
I
that was a
went-
longer World Cup. They
Well,
made
but
it was like 5 hours.
I went to
or
the
5
training
weeks or
camp.
something.
I think I went to Canada's training camp. I think for a couple of days first. So that was a lot of fun.
I have a question.
Yes.
This is a personal question, if that's okay, guys. So yesterday, the Canucks celebrated South Asian Night called Diwali, and I didn't see anything on the Oilers schedule. I know last year they did do a South Asian Night, not Diwali,
That
but
was in Feb or something.
I believe so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Tony and Hunter.
They did. Remember, Tony got dressed up in that,
Yeah.
and when he had the crazy shoes on.
Well,
Yeah.
that guy, I forgot his name.
Where he had,
Who
like,
played
the
on the
Ross-
Hangout.
He
Wally.
looked awesome.
Yes.
I got a picture
Yeah.
of him with him.
But Apna's not involved anymore with Oilers South Asian celebration.
Oh, okay.
I
Oilers.
think they're still going to be doing
Yeah, I
it.
think they'll still do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Yeah?
still doing it.
Okay.
I think it was a big hit last year, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I think it was good.
I want to attend this year. It would be nice to see
Yeah.
the culture and
I
stuff.
don't know why they wouldn't do it. So it must have
Yeah.
been, but it was
And they
later
did
in the season.
they did a logo for it and everything.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So no, they'll do it.
I'm assuming we're going to see it again,
Yeah.
and that's fine, and that's good.
Yeah.
Although, was it last year they stopped doing some of the celebrations with the practice or the warm up jerseys?
Well, the NHL they
Yeah.
banned the warm up
yeah,
jerseys,
yeah.
right? Because of the controversy.
But they can still celebrate in arena and
Yeah,
that's-
yeah, they can
that's
still do all the things. It's just that, they just what happened? It became some objected to wearing the pride.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
and,
right.
and then it just became a big scandal. So they still have the jerseys. They just don't wear them. So I have my opinions on that, but I'll just keep them to myself. So
So last January, they announced, they released logos
Yes.
I'm just trying to see when they announced the game last year.
because there's the Turtle Island one. Gager has the Black History one.
Sick jersey.
There's the South Asian one. It is a nice jersey.
Yeah, they did Lunar, Black History, South Asian, and then they have the Aboriginal one, or the Indigenous people.
Yeah.
Island,
the
yeah.
one. So the game last year was on like the 21st. But I don't know when they officially announced it.
And that's the thing. I believe they announced it like closer to the date rather
Well,
than
there
a big
was.
heads up.
I'm seeing a release the day before of the game saying they're hosting it.
Okay.
But I thought that there was a little bit of rumblings prior, maybe, or
There
maybe.
was, and then I think they canceled it.
So maybe it's just one of those that
Yeah.
like we'll hear about it the day before
Closer,
again,
right? Yeah.
and be like,
Well, I wish I
hey,
would get a heads up, right?
A heads up would be nice.
because they did release. You're right,
March 4th, Garrett says,
March 4th.
against the Ducks. Thank you, Garrett.
Oh, really?
Oilers,
Thank
Kootenai
you.
Time Tim also adds
Much
March 4th.
appreciated.
because they did announce the celebration nights schedule.
Great, because then I'll lend you guys some kurta pajamas to wear to the game.
I will.
Sounds good. Do we get samosas too?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Good.
So yeah,
Good job.
they've got what's coming up here. Indigenous celebration is coming up on the 6th. I don't even want. What is this night? Dia de los. Oh, Day of the Dead. They're
I
doing
like
a Day of
that.
the Dead celebration.
That's going to be unreal.
That's coming up. How do I get rid of this? Oh, November 4th with the Devils in town. That's funny. Indigenous Night, November 6th. Celebrating Drayton Valley on November 14th. Don't know why we're celebrating Drayton Valley.
What the hell? You sure that's not oil cake?
Well, why
We're
not?
celebrating Drayton Valley that day. November 23rd, Hockey Fights Cancer Night. The 10th, we'll be welcoming you Canadians. On the 16th, it's Hockey Talks, Mental Health Awareness. December 21st is Next Gen. Is that the kids game? Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
kids takeover.
That was pretty fun.
They got the
last
New
year.
Year's Eve game on December 31st, which is stupid.
You don't like New Year's Eve game? Is it
Not
what
at
time-
I
seven.
hate
It's at
the
7.
New Year's Eve game.
Oh, yeah.
You don't like it?
No,
No,
it's a big event.
You gotta
We're in the
work.
media room.
Oh.
And then everyone.
Well, good, because if I'm there, you can hook it up. Okay.
Yeah, like
Because I like to go to those.
No,
that game should be
Do we all
starting
hide
at
upstairs
5.
after?
But by the time we're done the
Yeah.
interviews, by the time we're done everything, we're writing. It's like, hey, 12:01, Happy New Year, guys. And then,
Oh,
and then you join
yeah.
your friends, and they're like
Sauced.
7 drinks in.
Yeah.
And then you feel like,
5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Should be at 5 o'clock.
6 o'clock start be fine.
Sure. January 13th, Ukrainian Heritage Game. 21st is Armed Forces Appreciation. January 30th is Lunar New Year, Year of the Snake. Feb 7, Black Celebration. March 4th, South Asian. March 18th, Women in Sports. March 26th, Pride. And April 11th is their Fan Appreciation. That's their whole schedule of their promotional nights.
So the other
celebrate.
day, I don't know if you saw our sheep Baines.
Absolutely. I
Big
saw
goal.
it. I wanted to talk about it, but I didn't want
Let's talk about it
Okay.
because it was awesome.
It was so awesome.
Okay, you go.
No, you go. I want to know your opinion.
Well,
about
no, I
this.
thought it was
Yeah.
awesome because he scored a goal.
A
And
crucial goal.
yeah,
Yeah.
big goal. He scored a goal. He's a local guy from the community.
You bet.
On South Asian night, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And-
Diwali.
Yeah,
Well, no,
Diwali.
Diwali. Sorry, it was the game before Diwali. Diwali was yesterday.
Oh, okay. The
Yeah,
game before
yeah,
the wall.
yeah.
Then Saturday
But
night.
still, a big deal. Yeah,
Saturday night.
yeah.
And then there's a great picture of him giving his stick and the game puck to his parents. It was awesome.
Oh, that's fantastic.
was
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like in our culture, our parents, all immigrant parents, they do everything for us, right? And like in our East Indian community, especially, our parents mean everything
Mm-hmm.
to us. They're the reason, that we
Did
are
you
where we
do
are.
a thing for sex right there? Is that what the hand movement was?
The what?
You did. They did everything.
Everything. I don't know. I'm a hand talker.
I know. What are you Italian?
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I love that moment because it just shows our culture and shows deeper roots to us. And I hope people don't find that offensive when I talk about Archie Baines, for example, because to me, watching like Jujar Kara and all that, it's so important because you never think that could be you. Like if I choose to have children, I want my kids to go into NHL. I want to dream of that too.
Well, it is important. It is important because these guys are. When I was playing, there was a few of us. Like I was an immigrant child myself. We're trying to figure out a way. My parents didn't grow up hockey. They were trying to figure out how the equipment. Remember my first game, I was 7 years old, and my parents trying to figure out how the equipment goes. And so you can kind of relate to some of these other parents. They want to put their kids in hockey, and they're trying to figure it all out. And we've seen it, and I think it's just wonderful that a player like that, and he becomes a role model, and more
Exactly.
kids coming, more kids coming, more kids coming, and I think it's so important. And I think to me it was a beautiful thing just
Isn't
watching
it?
him, local kid, make good, play for his local team, and then he celebrates it with his parents after. I think I just thought it was fantastic.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
It's about family for sure. The side note though, then they send him down to Abbotsford the next day for cap space.
Yeah. So,
It's a business.
but hey, you know what? That stick and that puck will be there forever. Right?
Yes.
And they'll be in their parents' home forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got to bring this up before it ends. EST Draft of Scary Things did take place yesterday during the Hangout. The voting is underway for another hour and 18 minutes. Relegation. It seems like it's not going to happen now. 12%. I voted for you.
Yeah, you did.
I
Because you don't
posted
want
for
to
it.
be back in.
It's I don't. I think Quinn should be looking at some of the newer people or younger people at EST for should relegation happen. And I think she needs to change her ruling from if relegation happens, I come in and instead either has Trev or Reed in.
Zach or Reed, yeah.
Or we should have a secondary draft done with the winner being the top contender for relegation.
Oh.
A draft within the draft, like the minor league of the draft systems.
That's a lot of drafting.
Oh, just one day you do the draft and you have Zach, you have Trev, you have Reed. You could throw Hernan
What
in there.
about Jasmine?
Jasmine, maybe. And the winner of that draft is the number one contender so that whoever has relegation goes up. And then whoever gets relegated has to win that next draft
Like a
to be the
bracket?
number one contender.
I see. Now,
So you like if you got relegated,
Yeah.
you're not guaranteed to come back in. You got to go win this bottom draft. And
Right.
maybe we don't bring the commission. Maybe we bring someone else and we just do it a little smaller. Maybe it's only like an hour long in the Hangout.
I know where I aired this last draft. I took it I went with literal what would be, very scary things. And that was my first for the life scary things, life fears. And I was
Yeah.
I didn't put up situations. I was like, well, what's scary? Losing someone,
They were soft.
running out of time.
Yeah.
So no, they're very
Commitment.
real. They were very
That was
commitment.
funny, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very real. So it's not like the what's a fear in a public situation? Holding in a fart is a good one, right? It was less comical and more serious, and I'm like, I shouldn't have done that.
Comparing with dinner with cannibals,
Yeah,
losing your virginity,
that was a
and meeting
terrible
the
thing.
in-laws for the first time.
Yeah. So I went with genuine life fears. I'm like, this is gonna resonate. Yeah, it makes people sad. So
It
I
does.
completely
I was
understand
sad.
where I went wrong.
Yeah,
I took it too literally. My
it's
bad.
okay.
You
You're
don't win 3
senti.
times
It's
in a
all
row
right.
if you ain't got some skills, though.
Yes.
Are you a big scary movie guy?
Yeah, I watch the Saws and things like that. And
You and Matty, man.
I'm too
You're like
left. This
obsessed.
month, I've never seen the Saws before.
no, I've seen
So
most of them.
I'm down to Spiral and Saw 10.
Yeah, I can't remember why I just went on a Saw binge, and I was like,
But
oh,
they're the same thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
they
after
become.
the- I didn't
after
want
a while they become
The last
I didn't
couple,
watch the third
I
one
think
after.
7. Was it 7 or is it Jigsaw? One of those. It's well, this you've already done this story.
Yeah.
1 and 2 and 6, I think, are the 3 to watch.
But, no, I like scary movies. The Blair Witch Project was a freaky movie, though.
Yeah, at
That
its
was a
time.
huge
A little
deal.
boring, but yeah.
I thought Blair Witch was. I thought it was
Because it was the
really
first
well
of its kind, I think, right?
They
Yeah,
made
that's
a point
real.
of view.
Yeah.
done. Point of view, and then you're just afraid to go to the dark after a while. I thought it was really good.
You know what was a great point of view movie? And I think it, derives some of its origins from Blair Witch just in the style. Cloverfield.
Yes, I was just thinking that. That movie was really
Yeah.
good.
Awesome movie.
Great
that was
movie.
good.
Yeah.
Jay chose Candyman as one of his movies. That movie was terrifying growing up.
Candyman.
Terrifying. So I had a birthday party. I forgot how old I was. Don't ask. And I had all my cousins over, my friends over, and I wanted to be cool, right? So I was like, you know what? The movie of the night is Candyman. You know what I did? I was so terrified. Even we had this whole, everybody's on the ground, there's sleeping bags, whatever. I slept with my parents.
And how old are you?
I don't remember. I know when it first came out. I was so scared, but I thought it was so cool. I'm like, yeah, we're watching a horror movie, my birthday. And then obviously the next day I was mortified.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And you slept with your mom and dad.
I did.
Oh no.
that's pretty funny. Yeah, I remember Candyman. It was back in the day. Oh no, I can do the horror movies, the scary movies. Yeah.
That one was terrifying.
I've never seen it.
Oh, you gotta. It's better than the second one, the new one that came out.
Didn't see.
The new ones were
I
like
probably
artsy.
won't watch
Yeah.
it.
I need to find a couple. Well, I got to finish my Saws.
What was your movie? What movie did you choose? your draft.
Amityville Horror
Oh, yeah.
and Poltergeist.
How could I not forget?
I have not seen either one of
Oh,
those.
when we were in
You just chose-
we were in Washington D.C. that we took a tour. I was in the Exorcist steps are in Washington D.C.
Where?
In Georgetown there.
Oh yeah.
Georgetown's
and
neat
so-
I've
spot.
never seen Exorcist.
Yeah,
I
no.
should.
You haven't?
No, no.
That's the
kind
OG.
it's kind of freaky now. Like it's kind of almost laughable now, like how bad the effects were and stuff like that. But it freaked out a lot of people back
Yeah,
then.
back then, yeah.
It's like Jaws was, by all accounts, pretty terrifying back then.
Yeah,
You watch now, it's like
you were
whatever.
afraid to
But
go in your bathtub after Jaws.
Yeah.
Like it was like Jaws was pretty freaky.
I still stand by Birds was one that I think is. At the time, I could see why that Birds would be terrifying.
That's an old Hitchcock film.
Yes, but like just the fact that it has no ending really. The birds, there was no explanation of what happened with the birds and why the birds were killing people, and they just left the town, and the birds still controlled that town, and it's like that. That was
Well,
fantastic.
some of Stephen King's stuff is good. Like Cujo was a good movie.
Yeah.
Remember Cujo back in the day, and then some of them were really good. So I used to read a lot of Stephen King when I was growing up.
Okay.
Yeah, so I thought obviously fantastic writer, but I used to read a lot of his stuff. So Carrie,
I was more of an
Carrie's
R.L.
good.
Stein guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
me
great
too.
stuff.
Goosebumps
Great
for
stuff.
life.
Yeah, thank you.
Then you get to choose your path. That
Right?
came later.
I like
It's like, which
those.
way am I going to go?
Do you have any Stephen King influences when you write your game stories?
Yeah.
Or have you in the Decade of Darkness, did you try pulling out a little
Yeah.
Stephen King
there were some
influences in some of those?
Darkness, yes. Yeah.
Let's get to Road Warriors, which is brought to you by AccuSteel Heavy Haul Trailers, custom manufacturing heavy haul trailers for mining, oil and gas, equipment, highway transportation, quality, innovation, integrity, trusted by the leaders in the heavy transport industry. Get on the road with peace of mind for your large loads. AccuSteel.ca. Obviously, the Dodgers, they could be the road team winning a World Series championship tonight, being the world champions. They Game 4 against the Yankees. 6:08 first pitch with the Yankees down 3-0 in that series. Bunch of games in the NHL tonight. Obviously, the Oilers are not in action until Thursday when they're on the road out in Nashville. What's the big game in the NBA? Mavericks Timberwolves with the Mavs on the road out in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And then there is college football, I think, today as well. What college football? Oh, we got Carabao Cup today. That's always
On Tuesday?
exciting. Carabao Cup? Yeah. That's just their club competition.
Okay.
Or that's just their nation competitions and stuff. 3 games in college football. New Mexico State taking on FIU, Louisiana taking on Texas State, and Louisiana Tech taking on Sam Houston. I don't remember what conference this is. Is that the Sun Belt Conference? Might be. I hope one of those
If
games
it's
is on
not
TSN.
Mountain West, I don't care.
The Mountain West is getting the big battle with the Pac-12. Pac-12, which is Washington
Thank
State
you.
and Oregon State, have poached teams from the Mountain West, and now Mountain West
Well,
and Pac-12 are
these
redoing.
conferences, all these teams are going to these different conferences now. So.
Yeah, but that's because all those teams left to the Big Ten, the Pac-12 became Pac-2.
Yeah.
But you have to have 8 teams to be a conference.
conference, yeah.
And they have till 2026 to get to 8. So the Pac-2 is now the Pac-7 in football, but the Pac-8 in overall because Gonzaga joined them, but Gonzaga doesn't play
Doesn't
football.
play football.
But they took teams from Mountain West, so Mountain West is below the 8 threshold. So they've had to add teams to try to get to the 8 threshold. And I think both our conferences are now at 7.
Oh, it's just complicated.
But it's led to some great football games this year.
Okay.
It has. It has.
David Derek's like, sure.
We've had some really good football games this
I
year.
just don't have 4.5 hours to waste on a football game.
You love NCAA football, but you don't.
4.5 hours.
Do you like
This
NCAA,
stems
Jasmine?
from I was at USC. We went to a USC game,
Nice.
and the tailgate was fun. We were at the tailgate. All the kids were drunk, and they started drinking at 10 in the morning. I told Dave Tippett this story. He's like, "Hey, my daughter goes to UFC." It's like, she was probably drunk, passed out drinking.
Yeah. Not saying that,
Then we went to the game. So we're all excited about the game, and they don't sell alcohol in the stadium. And then the game was 4.5 hours long. So you're at a sporting event, 4.5 hours long. Most of it spent in commercials, right?
Was that why it's that long?
Yeah, because they'll have a guy come out
TV
with
broadcast.
a little guy come out with a massive clock. I've never seen this forever. Big clock, sticks it on,
Yeah.
and then the clock counts down from 6 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever it is, however long. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, we're gonna stand here and do nothing for 6 minutes, and I'm not allowed to have a beer?
You're not?
But a lot of college places
Yeah.
don't
Dry
because they're college.
stadiums. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
But they're slowly adding it, or there's different ways doing it.
Like, oh, yeah, there's Ask for ID.
Huskies, the
Yeah,
last one of the
exactly.
Huskies was that I heard was, and I'd have to ask Majil this if it's changed, because when Lucas was there, he told us there was it's like a smoking pit for drinking. There's a drinking pit area. You could go
So
buy your
now
drink, and you
you're
could
gonna-
drink in
you
this
have to
one
drink in
area.
this area?
You can't bring it to your seat.
Well, you can't bring it to your seat. That's something you can't do that in European soccer. You can't bring it to your
You
seat.
can, in basketball too, in NCAA basketball. You can't do
bring
it
it.
either.
Really?
No. Yeah, because I saw.
Because it's college.
Yeah, I saw it in Seattle, and then I remember they had to go to an area.
When I was in 2012, so I'm sure it's changed, but went to a Huskies basketball game, and my brother was looking for a drink, and I went and saw one.
Here's a Coca-Cola.
Damn.
Yeah.
Because the drinking age is 21, so
Yeah, totally.
But it's funny because I still remember going to a USC Coliseum game, and you get off the train, and to the left is the Coliseum, and they had their like corporate tailgate, which is nothing, but to the right was the real tailgate.
Yeah, well,
And you just see all these,
right
you just see all these drunk kids everywhere. You're like, I can't go get a beer over there, but because these kids are all too young. But this girl's not making it to the game because she's passed out. This guy's not making this
Right.
game because he's passed out. And all these people are plastered right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
It was unbelievable. Like I walked around campus and I'm like, and they started drinking at 10 in the morning.
Yep.
I'm
No
like,
wonder.
The game wasn't until 7.
Yeah.
So you get there at 4 or 5, you're like, oh my God. Like
They could be making a lot of money and
It
they're
is an
losing it.
experience.
it is
Yeah.
an
It's
unbelievable
it's
experience.
incredible.
And then you get to the stadium and go, excuse me, I can't have a beer. No, but you can have this $8 lemonade. I'm not having an $8 lemonade.
Yeah.
He put a bunch of
Thanks,
vodka
Renee.
in it.
So then you just sit there and watch the clock run down. Okay, come on. Can we start playing? Then you get one kick. The clock comes back out. And you're like, oh, man, I'm going to kill this guy with the clock. But that's just the way, that's what pays college football. It's the commercials.
Yeah, I'll watch college football playoffs, but it's something I'm trying to get into. I was telling Maddie. But
Don't force yourself.
I-
It's not worth it.
4.5
I
hours.
would-
Yeah,
Unless you have
hard.
4.5
But that's
hours
the
of your
thing.
day to do
It
nothing.
is
Yeah, it's like
not.
Saturdays, like,
the
so many
average
games
college
on.
football game is lower than that.
Maddie's got his
Well, we did the average college
chemical
football
peel
game
face
length.
mask on. He's watching the game.
3
on his
hours and
recliner.
29 minutes
That's crazy.
is the average game.
That's the average. 3.5
Wild.
hours.
Average-
That's insane,
I'm fine with that.
Maddie.
No.
That is
alcohol.
insane to watch a sporting event for 3.5 hours.
3 hours and
Sober.
12
That's
minutes.
That's the average.
The average NFL games takes 3 hours and 12 minutes. So you're talking about 18-minute difference.
That's a lot of difference. That's 18 minutes in commercials, not in playing time.
Ugh.
I know.
Yeah, actually, no.
That's
To me,
Beyond.
right now with where it is, I want to watch this Canadian Football League. NCAA is a better product than the NFL. It is much more entertaining watching a top college football game than a top NFL.
Well, no, well, we have this argument. Touch college, you have 5 good players on a team, the rest are terrible.
Yep. Very
And
easy.
that's why you have these.
Well,
bullet
overall,
games.
in the bigger
no,
in the
you have
bigger
5
picture.
good players that are going to go to the NFL, and the
Yeah,
rest
yeah.
are a bunch of walk-ons that are going to be corporate lawyers.
Yeah, that in the
Like,
bigger
it's just-
picture, but in college, they're like George is loaded or Oregon are loaded with some top players.
Yeah,
now that doesn't mean that they're all going to go to the
No.
NFL. Obviously, like it's you in the NHL, you have those weak draft years, you know, and the talent is always different. But in terms of the NFL or in the NCAA level, you know, Oregon's not just 5 good players
Well, it's it's
for
5
the
or 6
level of
good players.
NCAA.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not good football. I don't.
I agree with you. Han Shorkoff says college football is infinitely better than NFL. They don't even compare. I don't like college football. I find it boring as hell.
It's too long to play.
Yeah.
18 minutes of action, 3.5 hours.
3-12 for the
Oh my
NFL. It's not
goodness.
that much of a difference.
At least you can have a drink when you watch an NFL game.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
At home, I can have a drink
Most-
watching both.
Most people don't make it to the end of NFL games,
That's
from what
true.
I've seen.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but like when I went to the NCAA basketball game, it was Gonzaga and someone else. Anyways, there was like families. It wasn't like people my age.
Yeah,
it was either like
kids.
little children
Yeah.
or like
No, that's
like old people. It was
NFL's
weird.
NCAA football's not that.
No, but
Oh,
then
it's different.
It's
Yeah.
the
Whereas
students
NFL's
come
like
out.
all a bunch of
The
us. right?
students
Yeah.
come out for those college football games.
But the thing is, the basketball games are 2 hours. Boom, boom, you're there. You're
Wait.
done.
Yeah.
And then
Beauty of
the
soccer.
college games, the students come out. There's a student section. They come out, whatever, and things like that. But it's just, I don't know, just takes too long to play.
Paulie has just replied to me.
Breaking news.
He says he texted Matthew. So have
Yeah,
you
about the
received?
text.
Oh, okay.
About the text. Pretty sure you said, which is a pretty sure, you'll give Jasmine a hat when you get extras, and that I can have free 6 o'clocker glass socks and Glue Crew baseball tee.
Polly.
That's my brother.
That's good stuff.
appreciate it,
That's
though.
good stuff.
So adding in a
But there
bunch
you
of
have it.
there wasn't even Glue Crew merch planned at that time, but he's saying I've given him all these things.
Oh,
It's a glue-
well played, Paulie. Well played. He is a nasty. Loves the station.
Yeah.
That was well played by my brother. I'll give him credit. He's
good
been
to see
under the
Paulie
weather.
enough.
He was going to come
Has
up
he?
to BP the other day. He came and dropped off computer charger
Yeah,
because
you
I forgot mine.
forgot yours.
So
But you had the vape chargers. That's good.
I have a vape charger. Yeah, exactly. But I hooked him up with something.
No, good.
But so yeah, I think
No, it
that's
was
a
fun
fair
at
trade.
BP's the other night.
That was
Thanks,
good.
Paulie.
Really
Get
good.
well soon.
It's really good.
There we go.
I thought you were going to sing the song there.
Get well soon. We want you to get well. BP was excellent. Boston Pizza Westgate. Shout out to Tony, Curtis, Marasia, Faith, the whole crew there. Lots of great giveaways when we're there. Hudson's is awesome too. More GCs at Hudson's. At BP yesterday, we gave away 2 football jerseys.
You guys are at Hudson's yesterday?
No, the
back
BP
at the
yesterday.
St.
We were
Peter's.
back at
By
BP
West
Westgate.
End.
We gave away an Elks home jersey and a Justin Herbert Chargers home jersey.
Nice.
And
Paulie
then a
does
bunch
say,
of other stuff.
"And I was sober. Don't expect me to remember things." So
So we're gonna take.
he
Paulie's
doesn't
break.
even fully remember.
Oh,
He says, "Don't expect to remember things." I was sober.
I can't believe this.
I
I don't
like-
even know what this means.
I like how he wants the glue crew tee. We had a couple of those go yesterday, right?
Yeah. Hashtag Glue Crew
Yeah.
for Jay Milne, who,
So cryptic.
what do we have left when it comes to this vote? Because he's trying to win his first ever draft,
Yeah, he's pandering.
but he's going to be second. But he's not saying to vote for him. He's not going out there doing that.
There's a huge debate happening in the
Is there?
draft chat. Yeah,
Because I caused problems, I think.
maybe
I'm not part of that.
if I don't get relegated, that's good.
I'm not part of this draft chat, so I'm not part of anything. So I could do whatever I
Valid.
want.
Valid.
If I was part of the draft chat, I would have to follow your guys' rules. Where is it? I'm just trying to see the last little bit of standings. Lieutenant.
The
I was at like 12%. That's all I know.
No, but for the lead, because it's tight at the top. Here we go. So I've got it. So I think I have to go on the a desktop because the desktop will do decimals. 1 and 3 are tied at 32%.
Ooh.
2 is at 24%. 4 is at 12%.
All right.
There's an hour and 2 minutes left of voting. But 2 are at 32%, but there are decimals on a desktop. So we
This is
can see
tight.
exactly where it's at.
Tight finish.
The EST draft of scary things.
The Nasty started a hashtag called hashtag Believe Polly. So
Well
funny.
done.
Keep putting too much out there because then Surveyor Brett might get all mad that we're still talking about this.
True that. True that.
DVD, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Um,
No, we're
I don't
on
know
the-
if you didn't want to talk Cowboys or you wanted to talk
Yeah,
Cowboys.
what is your,
No, I
what are they playing?
You
The
wanna-
Cardinals?
Huh?
Are they,
No,
yeah.
the Cowboys lost San Francisco.
So who they playing?
Who they got this week? I can't remember.
I think it was the Cardinals. No.
Maybe it's
Coming up, it's the
Yeah.
battle of the two of you.
battle. It's
Yeah.
not much of a battle. It's like a pillow fight. Pillow fight.
Hey, we just
Oh,
got
I'm
a
just
big
saying,
win,
I'm
and
just
I did use we. We got a big,
Big
win
win.
over the Dolphins.
No,
Yes.
Cowboys Falcons.
Falcons.
That'll be
Wrong.
good.
11 o'clock.
ETL? Yeah.
Yeah. So
You
they'll
got
lose
the
that game.
Bears.
The Bears.
You and your quarterback that wants to take a breather
Oh my God. We
is
should
taking on the Vikings.
should've talked
Do you have a
about
couple?
that.
I got a couple of minutes. You want to talk
How
about Anthony
embarrassing.
Richardson saying, "I need a breather"?
I need to. Let's talk about this. We're gonna talk about Halloween. But okay, how embarrassing! He's like, I'm too tired to play. Are you kidding me? I think he was getting ripped after that.
Is he in, like out of shape? What's going on?
He shouldn't be. Like, what do you guys think? You just get tired. I get it. You're like running around, scrimmage, this and that.
Well,
but
you
like,
know what?
give me a break.
Other players, other positions get a blow, right? Like receiver goes off, he runs a 40-yard pattern, he can just go off and someone play. Running back goes off, right? Everyone else, maybe he just said, "I need a blow." Like I need.
Well, hand the
least
ball
he
off
was
for 2
honest.
straight plays. Go to your coach, be like, "I need one. Give me a couple handoffs or audible to handoffs to get your breather."
You're running for your life the whole game.
I wonder if
Sometimes you get-
Flacco will play.
Sometimes you get
Yeah.
tired.
And what do you have to say about Halloween?
Okay, so Thursday we're doing our Halloween show.
Yeah.
And we are all dressing up, right? Into
I do
something?
have a costume, a
Okay.
very small
Subtle?
costume.
Okay.
Well, it's not subtle, but it's not like elaborate.
Come on.
Fine.
Just something small. And Reed wants me to help him with his costume because I guess Jay has a costume.
I'll go
so I need
find
ideas.
something.
And then I only wear sexy costumes, so I will not be wearing a sexy costume on Thursday. So I'll wear something funny.
I'll wear a
Oh, so
sexy
you are
costume.
still wearing something.
Well, I was gonna say
okay.
let's all wear sexy costumes.
Tom can wear the sexy costume.
Yeah, I'll show some leg.
Just wear those shorts.
Yeah.
Come in, the short shorts.
Just be a surfer. Just say you're a surfer, but wear those
Yeah,
shorts.
yeah.
No, that tropics uniform. That was.
I got rid of it
You got rid
finally.
of that
I
tropics
had it.
uniform?
The shorts were even.
The shorts
yeah,
were
they were culottes.
Oh, I miss those jokes.
Yeah.
It'll be a spooky show on Thursday.
Spooky.
Hangover Hangover.
Maybe it will be the hangover Halloween.
Halloween.
Hangover,
yeah.
hangout.
Again, Derek, thanks for coming in.
No problem.
We'll see you on Thursday, Jasmine. Good luck with the relegation battle, Tom.
I'm not
Good
worried
luck
about it.
Thanks everyone for tuning into the EST Hangout. Up next, it is the Lock Shop. Huss and Pat Gregoire. At noon, it's two guys and a goalie with Reed, Gager, and Cass. We got EST afternoons. We got the Reed Wilkins Show. That's all to come here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Again, on behalf of DVD, Jasmine, Tommy, I'm Matt. Thanks for tuning in. Lock Shop coming up in just a few minutes right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Don't go anywhere.
Let's go. There you go, right in front of the camera.
First-time guest, long-time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanek, Tom Zola with here. Joining us today,